Well, that's totally the thing that started
I don't even remember Boot Hill. Is that what that old game was called that we used to play? I think it was called Boot Hill. RPG. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I still have my copy of Gamma World. Hmm. Right on.
I gotta mute myself. Not that it's a big deal. That it was all junk conversation on my side anyway. So there we go. So we are back once again for our Modern Age Heroes Marvel Superheroes game. Since we've got some people who have been gone for a bit, or we could just use a refresher in general, does somebody want to take a moment to give us a recap and go back
a
over?
recap.
Yes, and go back over the events of last game.
Yep. Go ahead and do that. All right. So, okay. So we were discussing things as we usually do in the vein, trying to figure out what our next steps are going to be, because from the past few episodes, we already know that Tyrix the Tyrant is a possible incoming threat due to Lightbringer's premonitions that she's been getting. But in response to that and the upcoming apparent war that seems to be brewing between Russian forces and New Prussian forces, a moon base is being thought up of. And we were trying to actually get that established. We did end up going to see Senator Miles Barrett, who was big on deviant rights and everything. He's one of the ones who helped to strike down the recent Deviant Registration Act. So we all went to his place after scheduling an appointment and talked to him regarding the lunar base plan. Provided that proposal. We're explaining that there is a possible incoming threat, and because there's going to be an intergalactic stage at this point, we got to be ready. He's kind of iffy on the idea, but through some convincing, he's going to take the plans that Lightbringer had. He's going to pass it up the chain, possibly to the President of the United States, to see what will happen. And Freddie is going to be our contact between him and the rest of us, since his superhero persona has already been compromised. And then after we talked to him, leaving the building, a dude came up to Lightbringer and let her know that Tucker Limbaugh, who's going to be a new talk show host, television show host from a radio
Really?
talk show. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Really, dude?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Caught that? Yeah. Uh-huh. And so that's apparently going to be a thing that Lightbringer is going to have an interview with him relatively soon.
Yet she did not commit one way or the other.
True. Yeah. It's at least an option that's wide open for her.
An option, yo.
She is not really thinking about that. She's just like, yeah, okay, whatever, maybe.
Let's see. Oh, and throughout, while we were talking amongst ourselves, we learned from Ixion that Interstellar Society is made of 4 main interstellar factions: the Galactic Union, which is a group of, that are peaceful with each other, various species of different worlds; the Tavaxian Empire, which are Tavaxians, exclusively. They're hostile and don't allow outsiders to encroach in on their territory. The corporate sector, which is made up of multiple interstellar corporations which own a big swath of space. And the Free Systems Alliance, comprised of 2 star systems that are unaligned. They're not a part of the Galactic Union. They're just more or less independent. There are other races we talked about, like the Ubari, who are at war with the Tavaxians. The Ubari are losing, and they may actually be some of the individuals who are on Earth trying to deal with the Tavaxians. Yeah, that is pretty much it that I've got from the last episode.
Sounds good.
That was a lot.
Do we not have Justin today? Oh, I remember. Never mind.
Justin is traveling. Derek said he was coming, but he's not here. So,
Yeah.
All right. Then we will pick up. It's been a week since the last game at this point. You have not heard any updates as of yet from any sort of presidential action currently. I will say, those of you who are staying at the vein, which I know is Billy and I know is Shown, does Hyperion stay at the vein? I don't think he does he?
He does spend a good amount of, he's been spending more time here because he's trying to, get the computer system set up and all that. So if there wasn't a lot going on, he'd be spending a lot of time at his apartment or condo or whatever he's got.
Okay.
But right now, he's spending a lot of time at the vein.
Gotcha. Okay. So at one point, the day before game is taking place, the ship vanishes.
Oh, like Ixion's ship?
Yes. And of course, because the computer is down and not logging anything, there's no record of, who took it or what came in and did what for how many cookies. But the good news is, whoever took it returned it, later that night.
Some kids were borrowing their parents' car.
There you go.
Did they find it in a lake?
Thankfully, no.
All I can say is I didn't do it this time.
The ship did fly through several swarms of bugs, so it may need to be washed. But otherwise, no worse for the wear.
So can we do power stunts?
Are you attempting to train first thing then?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I know that, Dale, I know that that Hyperion was going to talk to Shown about doing something with her.
Right, exactly. Let's see here. So if he were to see you doing your power stunt with trying to cause that EMP blast or teleport or whatever, he'd go up to you. He'd go up to you and be like, Shown, before you continue your training, I actually wanted to talk to you about such. Do you have a few minutes?
Of course.
Excellent. First, I noticed that you've been trying to adapt your mobility with regard to your teleportation. How is that coming along?
It hasn't really. I'm struggling, and I don't know what's causing the struggle, but I'm struggling.
I see. And this is your attempt to tactically teleport multiple locations rapidly? Is that correct?
Well, the idea behind it was more of a defense offense. While we are in the midst of battle, I'm able to just kind of disappear and reappear behind our adversary and smack him with something, and then able to disappear again and wind up in another place close proximity of where we were, or if we're ever being chased down by another teleporter, it would be nice to be able to teleport and then teleport us again within seconds if need be.
Let's see. I wonder if you're having difficulty with mastering this because of what you've experienced before with regard to teleportation. I've noticed on a few instances before, especially when we need to teleport a long distance and you don't know about the area ahead of time.
Yeah, it's a blind jump.
I wonder, have you ever attempted to sense the location you're teleporting to without committing to the process? Do you know if that's possible for your species?
I don't know, but I mean, the only way to find out is, I guess, to try.
That may be something to try. As you said, I know I haven't had time to actually work with you on studying the exact nature and operation of your teleportation, which I would like to do in the future. But if I'm to
Yeah.
understand correctly, it would seem that you're able to intuitively use tachyons in a way to affect that. I wonder if you can use that to your advantage to sense your destination before you fully teleport.
Well, it would be nice not to arrive in a janitor's closet again.
I'd imagine so. Being able to sense the geography and geometry of your destination should then allow you to land wherever you need to, avoid people or obstacles.
Yeah,
Perhaps.
I'll give it a try.
Excellent. Let me know how that comes along. Oh, and also, regarding what you've attempted before with regard to your blasts of electricity, uh, how have you been coming along with controlling the power output of those blasts?
I'm getting better. Um, yeah, it has to do with my ability to manipulate and just concentrating a little bit more on my own ampage instead of just being so spontaneous as I'm prone to be.
I see. If you'd like, there may be a way to make that easier for you through technology. I know that you yourself have understanding of weapons design.
Hmm.
We could work together to form some sort of perhaps gloves or bracers that could attach to your armor that alter the current and change it into a different type of stunning blast. I'm reminded of the
Yeah,
stun cannons we have in the training room.
that would be beneficial for sure. Yeah, most
Excellent.
definitely.
Then I'll see what I can find about the stun cannons to see if we have any of those schematics in the system. Then we can work on that to see if we can upgrade your armor accordingly.
Okay, sounds good.
And right as you guys are making that conversation about sonic cannons and danger room and whatnot, you guys end up hearing this reverberating sound that echoes and actually rattles the inside of the vein a little bit, and it sounds as if somebody broke wind but had a microphone up to it. And
Oh,
Billy peeks out and goes, "It wasn't me.
Yeah,
That was not me."
yeah, Billy, you actually woke yourself up.
Okay.
You have been having some problems adjusting to this particular time frame and dimension because food from where you come is actually so highly processed
Are
that
you saying it was me?
it was you, yes. So
Dork.
the food where you've come from is actually so highly
Hate you.
processed and essentially effective
Oh.
that it would be like somebody going from one type of diet, like say on the West Coast, and having
Yeah.
nothing but Southern food.
Right.
That's
It's
funny.
not like you're like totally distressed, but when you're comfortable and you're asleep, sometimes things happen.
Thanks.
Why did
You're welcome.
that sound like Rod just butt exploded?
Uh, excellent question.
Billy
Perhaps I
comes
can check.
staggering out of his room holding his gut. Oh, man, that is not good.
That is like so ew to like the 100th degree.
Billy, are you all right? That actually sounded like it may be painful for you.
uh,
Maybe some
Pretty
pepper.
sure that was a involuntary expression of some of my powers, but the core of it was very real, and clearly the local cuisine is not sitting well with me, man. It's not good.
So you have like supersonic farts that take out the enemies?
Uh, we can experiment with that if your noses can handle it, but no, I
No,
don't think
no, no,
so.
no, no. I think I'm gonna stay clear of your room for a while. That's like ew.
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah. Why do you think I'm out here?
I see.
That's bad.
Make sure that the ventilation systems are working properly.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
let's do that.
Especially since he's like right across the hall from mine.
And as Hyperion's like walking to the main computer room, he walks by Mosh Pit and goes, "If you need assistance with a different diet, please let me know. I wouldn't want you to be in more distress than you need to be."
I I might hit you up on that. Like
Get
I
him
I
like a
think just
really.
the food from my universe is so different, and the stuff here, while it tastes good, is clearly not sitting well with me.
He needs like a big bottle of that pink stuff.
Pink stuff.
It may be true. I'll see what I can do for you. I'll be back in a bit.
I'm going to
To
go
be
fry this.
fair, I'm basically used to eating what we affectionately call kibble, but yeah,
I see.
it's
So it
not
sounds
actually kibble, but that's just like what we call it because it basically just uh, pelleted or flaked food in a bag. It's cheap. It's got the nutrients, and I'm a musician, so we don't exactly make the big bucks.
that it may simply be an adjustment period as your digestive system gets used to more natural foods.
So less
Maybe.
pizza.
Yeah.
Sorry for you, dude.
Yeah. I'm sorry for all of us, really.
We need to put nose plugs on the list.
Just good air filtration system. I think we're good.
Air purifiers.
Oh
I'll
my
see what
God.
I can
Really,
do.
dude?
So Hyperion heads to the main computer panel and makes sure that like everything's
Did
running
your
properly.
dog fart? He's getting into character.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm getting the smell-o-vision over here.
Reaches
Oh,
It's a
over and
Frenchie
feature, not a
Frenchie.
bug.
reaches over and scratches
Yeah.
his screen and takes a sniff.
It's a
So,
feature, not a bug.
Just so
Jerome,
the audience knows.
Oh,
to
Aw.
try this new power stunt, would that still would fall under my teleport?
What power stunt is that?
To sense my the environment of where we're wanting to teleport to. So
That would actually be a new power.
okay. So what do I have to do to do I have to spend some karma for that?
Yes, you would.
And how much is that going to be?
Well, it's going to start off at Feeble 2,
Okay.
and then you just pay for it from there. So it's, in essence, times 100 per level. So
Okay,
to start, it's
so-
200 for the Feeble 2, and then an additional 400 if you want it to be PR4, and so on and so forth.
So are we everybody okay with me spending extra.
We could. What would that power be, Jerome? Do you happen to know offhand, like what that would take?
We would call that a teleport sense. In
Okay.
Teleport
essence,
sense. Okay.
it's kind of like combat sense, but it's only geared for teleportation.
Okay. Yeah, let's see. We right now currently have 2,530 in the bank. I'd be fine if you started off with that.
Okay, so it's feeble. Okay, I'll try to do my roll.
Does she need a roll if she's going to just develop that power, or would she
Nope.
just?
Just the karma.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so I don't need to roll to see if I get a red.
No, because it's not a stunt. It's like a separate new power that you have.
Oh, gotcha. So I can still do my regular
Yeah.
stunt.
Yes.
Okay. Not Rollo, roll.
Jerome, are you watching Discord?
Indeed.
I am not,
Okay.
because I generally don't have that open when I'm running a game. So let me look
I
at my
didn't
phone real
make it
fast.
again.
Well, we can go ahead and spend the 200 for you to start off at feeble rank for your teleport sense if you want to
Fine.
write that down in your sheet.
Yep, got it.
Did you send me something, Mike?
One sec.
So at this point, I'm assuming Lightbringer is showing up, correct?
Yes.
Oh, yes, you can, Mike.
Okay.
If you're trying to purchase a talent, it's 100 karma flat.
So I can use it to raise, say, sound manipulation.
Also, that would be a power. If you're attempting to raise a power, it's times 100 that to the next rank. So what's your sound manipulation at right now?
30.
So it's going to be 4,000 to raise it to an IN 40.
Okay. All right. Cool. Good to know.
Oh, and one other thing I would let you guys know. Lightbringer was in the news.
Oh, okay.
What else is new?
So Lightbringer was in the news.
Tabloids.
Both.
The channel 6.
Lightbringer was in the news. The news is qualifying it as her new team, as they've got like several question marks behind it, as she teams up with somebody by the name of Plasma and another person by the name of Bone. All who have they have costumes that match Lightbringers, but they are gray and black as opposed to the gold and gray that you guys have, and they lack the L logo on her jacket.
Okay.
It's Lightbringer like moonlighting?
She also teamed up with a superhero that apparently appeared in the middle of downtown to help fight off some. They're calling it a mutant tree, but they're uncertain as to what exactly it was. But a giant tree attempted to cause damage downtown, and she teamed up with the World War II heroine Yankee Girl, who appeared out of thin air.
Is she a doodle dandy?
And there's a brief comment, from when
She
the
is a
news
doodle
caught.
dandy.
There's a brief comment when the news caught up with them. Yankee Girl, commending everybody, who assisted. And like on the video clip, it's showing that, Lightbringer's like trying to pull her away real quick to have like a conversation or something. And then, of course, the media didn't get any more from any of them.
Okay.
I didn't realize she was moonlighting on the side.
Oh, by the way, Lightbringer raised your popularity by 2.
Ooh.
Neither was I.
What should my new Prussia? I have 3 rates for
Yes, you do.
popularity. I have public, private, and new Prussia.
Your public goes up by 2. Your New Prussia goes up by 5.
Sweet. Wait, I don't know how to add.
I now know, I understand their phrase chopped liver means.
Okay, so Lightbringer will arrive at the vein, and she will be carrying a couple of Tupperware containers, and she'll head like straight to Ixion.
Okay.
Oh,
You
look,
you
it's
would
the
note
superstar.
as she comes walking in, Lightbringer smells funny. She smells like she's been cooking. So there's like an air of ingredients around her.
Is it the same day,
Uh,
Jerome, as where we left off?
Yes, it is. It is after that point.
Okay, so also her hair would be like straightened and styled in the like Jennifer Aniston look.
Okay.
And she's wearing makeup.
She's wearing a little bit of makeup.
Anyway, so she will go straight to like looking for Ixion. And she'll say,
He's probably there at this point since he just joined the game, trying to focus and like throwing his hand out to see if he can extend it further or make a drip effect from himself and seeing no progress.
Does he know his ship disappeared?
Well, he does now because you mentioned it. But in character, everybody would notice that for one day here not too long ago, the ship vanished.
Like just vanished.
Yeah, I'm just, like it was somebody took it, and then later that day, towards the evening, it showed back up.
It was Isadora.
Check the log. Who was the pilot?
Unfortunately, all of that is down because mainframe is no longer in the system.
Well, mainframe had nothing to do directly with my ship. My ship should still have a ship's log.
Well, the ship log
flew.
would say it flew, but it doesn't say who.
yeah, does it have like a passcode?
No,
Like a handprint security?
no, nothing like that.
You might want to install
Maybe
one of
it
those.
should.
Yes,
Yeah.
like a DNA recognition type thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to, with that being said, my knowledge and between those of us here, we should be able to figure something out, especially between why am I just totally Hyperion and I, his with the electronics interface, me with the biological identification, something along those lines, to where we can do some sort of
Security.
genetic security. Yeah.
You're welcome to take that in character. For the time being, however, Lightbringer is
Right.
approaching you, and she has Tupperware.
Containers of something.
Yes, she's bringing you Tupperware with something in it.
So, in one Tupperware is some dirt, and in the other Tupperware is some like piece of wood.
Yes.
So she's gonna hand them to him and say, "Can you analyze these? They're parts of a monster that I fought yesterday, and
This
I
seems
think-
to look like soil.
yes. So, this is a piece of the tree monster. This is what's left of it. This is the soil that it was in. I'm not sure how it grew to be 3 stories tall, but I think it might have had something to do with the combination of the two. So I think we should analyze it, and I think we should keep the 2 separate.
Duly noted. Yes, I will see in comparison to normal Earth dirt
Also,
and
I
local
apologize.
known.
I needed your ship for a few hours, and I promise I didn't break anything.
So
Aha.
it was you who then took it yesterday.
Yes, I needed to visit the school in a hurry,
Very very well. As long as
and
it
I'm
was
sorry
someone
about
of our
that.
party. No, that is understandable. If it was an emergency, it was an emergency. Just know that I believe just for security purposes, so we don't have another instance of a entity similar to New Prussia um, getting the technology that my ship has. I am going to be striving to install biological identification for the ship's computer to prevent anyone who is not programmed into the system to operate.
I think that's a great idea. Um, and I don't know where you all were, but if I'd seen anybody, I would have. I don't know. Maybe we need like a log. I'll sign it out.
Perhaps, yes.
Something. Anyway, um, yeah. Sorry about that. Don't anticipate it happening again. Really.
Understandable, and that would be fine.
We saw your exploits with Plasma Bone and Yankee Girl on the news. I wonder how that fared for you.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you're becoming a regular superstar.
Okay, so Sagan and I and my roommate Michelle, um, you met her, right? She had a job working
Yeah,
at Quantum for a while.
the
Correct.
bone spur girl.
Yes, we were at the mall getting things. Things. Um,
You were at the mall without me?
I mean, really, we just went to Whole Foods. It was like a grocery run.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Um, anyway, we were at the mall when this tree thing like came out of nowhere, started hitting buildings and yelling about the climate, and then um, this other girl appeared out of nowhere and started fighting him, and then Sagan whips out some bracelet, and suddenly she's wearing like a copy of my costume, and then she smacks another bracelet onto Michelle, who now is wearing another copy of my costume. And then, I don't know, I just went with it. We took down the thing, and then, I don't know, like the news was there, and they wouldn't let us, like, just go.
I see. So
I don't know.
Plasma was Sagan and Bone was Michelle.
Yes.
But we still don't know who Yankee Girl is. She's the one who
Oh,
appeared out of nowhere.
yeah. So that's why I had to go to the school. Um, so I don't know if you remember her from old reports of like World War II. She went missing in like the 40s. Nobody ever saw her again until yesterday when she reappeared in Strongford. And anyway, she thought it was still 1944. And she was all stressed out about getting back to the war. So we had a little sit down after the fight, and long story short, we called Shield, and he assured her that yes, it's 1994 and the war is over and everything I was telling her is real. And um, he asked me to bring her up to the school so that he could kind of reacclimate her. Apparently, they fought together, they were old friends. And so that's what I needed the ship for. Ran her up there, talked with Meredith for a while, and then came back. So we'll
See.
we'll probably see her again. Evidently, she was fighting. She and Shield and some others were fighting some Nazi occultist group, and there was like magic going on, and that's when she disappeared. So I think it was something that they were dealing with at the time.
So this tree in her, are they
I don't know where the tree
connected?
came from. I don't know. That's why I collected samples. Um, and maybe it's related to the magic that brought her here. I don't know.
We'll
She
only
was
know
in
once
like
it's analyzed.
Europe somewhere. So.
Then we should look into that. Absolutely.
The other thing is, when I was talking to Meredith, filled her in on the whole Tyrax thing, and she had some information about him. And she asked me to make an appointment with the senator and have her join us. So I've put in a request. I have yet to hear back on his schedule, but essentially, she told me that Electrum nearly died fighting Tyrax, and it was a very near thing, but he basically wiped the floor with every other hero that went up against him at the time. And so uh, it's going to be a bad one. She suggested maybe getting together some kind of a coalition of heroes, because it's going to take more of us to subdue this guy.
Then it's an excellent thing that I've actually completed the first draft of a possible charter that the legacy can use. I have actually included the possibility of us obtaining new membership to the legacy, that we would actually continue the legacy of superheroism in Electrum's absence.
Rather than the legacy of Electrum himself.
Correct. We, of course, were brought together to found the legacy, but we need not limit ourselves to simply those who are directly related or interdimensionally related to him. There's more than just Electrum. Let me see if I can bring that up. And he goes ahead and brings it up on the main computer screen. Of course, I've got that in the Discord chat over here as well.
Yeah.
So then he brings that up, and so just starts with the preamble and just like reads the first part, saying, "The Charter of the Legacy, preamble. We, the members of the Legacy, in the spirit of unity, justice, and the relentless pursuit of a better world, hereby establish this charter to guide our actions, responsibilities, and principles as an alliance of superpowered beings. We recognize the immense power bestowed upon us and vow to use it for the betterment and protection of Earth and its denizens." And he points out that there's multiple articles regarding the organization, membership, the responsibilities that everyone would have. And looking through it, then he shows that it hasn't been signed and it hasn't been dated yet at the end. And out of character, do we want to go over that information? I know we were trying to talk about this like before game, but did we want to go over the information in this charter, or thoughts?
Let's ask the chat if they want us to read it.
It's chewy.
Well, you guys can take that offline if you want and discuss it
Yeah.
in the Discord chat.
Yeah.
However you want to do that way.
But he shows that information, multiple articles and sections in each, outlining responsibilities and so forth. And he demonstrates. He'll go over one more, that the responsibilities that all members of the legacy would have are 5 of them. 1, to act in the best interest of Earth and its sapient inhabitants. 2, to collaborate with and support fellow members in times of crisis. 3, use their powers responsibly and ethically. 4, work diligently to accomplish the Alliance's purpose. 5, to uphold the Alliance's principles, with the Alliance being the legacy. So he goes over all of that and shows that, and I think we've all been able to see that in the chat before. And goes, with this is at least the first step, I believe, in us actually becoming truly organized. We have not actually formed ourselves into an official legal organization per se with any government, especially that of the United States. However, I believe it's something that we need in order to make sure that we hone our focus towards what we need to do as a superpowered, heroic organization.
Whatever happened to the PR person?
Lightbringer, I know that you were trying to at one point reach out to a possible PR representative on your end. I was also trying to find such through Donovan McLaren, our business partner through Quantum Unlimited. Have you found anything or heard anything back on your end?
I found a person, but I have yet to reach out. How about you?
Jerome, did Donovan ever get back to Mark about a possible PR person?
It's been over a week now since you made that call, so he would have. One
Okay.
second. Oops. Here we go.
One piece of the verbiage I would almost insist that needs to be modified.
Yes.
We have 2 of our immediate family that are not natives of Earth. Myself and Shion.
Mm.
This charter inadvertently excludes anyone of any other
Well, and
location or
it
planet.
would also exclude Mosh Pit.
Not necessarily, because it does say the denizens of Earth, and while I may
It does
be
not
from another,
define from dimension or timeline, but yes.
I don't think it's talking about origin, though. Again, I don't think it cares about where you came from. You live here now. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely, and I would regard myself as an Earthling resident or Earth resident at this point. However, we, by our charter, as it's read now, may deter others, because what if we were somewhere else? We do have the capability to travel interstellarly. And if there is a good sapient race that needs assistance, I would feel very interested in striving to assist them so that way they do not suffer the same as what happened to my home.
I understand your concern. I did specifically indicate that Earth would be the location that we'd protect because I wonder how widespread we would want our influence to be in interstellar society, especially since we have effectively not interacted with it at all yet. Earth is currently our purview, Earth Prime specifically. It is where we live, and it currently contains billions of denizens, human and otherwise. I wouldn't want to spread our forces and our resources so thin as to be ineffectual to help anyone.
I think that Earth being the primary goal is obviously the main point of our charter and our group, especially for those who may be joining us who are native. But does that not, we have already addressed to some point the Tavaxian shield fleet, and though they are in orbit around Earth, I also believe that someone not unlike Tyrex, if we were to have the opportunity to save someone else, it may be in fact saving ourselves as well. Because usually the threat that is threatening a race can in turn grow, as he did.
So I think what you're saying is us willing to help other races from other planetary or dimensions would we would get allies from them,
Absolutely.
which would benefit us against this new threat that's coming. Because
Absolutely.
if our father barely survived an encounter with him, I mean, that does concern me.
I mean,
I
has there been
I like
any?
I like the idea of us expanding to others because we have. I mean, we brought quite a bit over from that nightmare realm, and we're definitely going to need their help. But I think getting allies from other planetary beings and dimensions would be beneficial to us.
Okay, so just sitting here spinning this in my head, like, what if we just said the legacy is dedicated to defending Earth and its allies?
That would
Does
work.
that not solve the problem?
Including
Because
allies.
Absolutely.
that pretty much allows us to decide who the hell we want to help and who we don't.
Exactly.
That could be a simple fix.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, literally swap out people for allies.
So he goes ahead and he turns to the charter and he goes to the preamble and he changes. We recognize the immense power bestowed upon us and vow to use it for the betterment and protection of Earth and its allies. He changes denizens to allies. Let's see here.
Part
Then
section 3.
yes, section. Responsibilities. Okay. Enact, and then that's Article 2 membership, Section 3 responsibilities. all members of the legacy shall, number 1, act in the best interest of Earth and its, and he changed his sapient inhabitants again to just allies.
Did you remember to add Legacy 316? Legacy 316 just says, "I just whooped your ass."
What's that from? That's
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
it is
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
That was his big thing because Jake Snake Roberts was born again Christian at that point, and he was preaching the John 3:16 at that point. And Stone Cold
Okay.
Steve Austin, to set himself apart, was, well, Austin 3:16 says, "I just whooped your ass." Gave him stutter.
Loved him.
Sorry.
No, that's good.
I have a suggestion.
Of course.
Is there a section for perks or
Is there a merch section?
what I'm thinking of is
Lightbringer already has that.
All active
access
members in good order are given a 10% discount at the local Home Depot.
Yay!
Sweet.
access
We all-
to the vein.
We all get our own Lightbringer action hero.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'd be more
And-
than
and
willing
lunchbox.
to get you a discount on your own Lightbringer merchandise.
Oh, she's gonna be so rich.
Access to the vein, access to our transportation, access to our devices, that sort of thing. And the section about secrecy is that assuming the identities of each other will be, aside from those present, that will keep those private from each other or just from the public. Because if we start adding members, does that automatically mean that we know each other's identity?
And how are we going to go about vetting new members?
And if they become disillusioned with the group, they could take that knowledge, obviously, and
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
yeah. So
I think it would be better. So number one, I don't think it's a great call to like force people to tell anyone their identity if they don't want to. And secondly, if that did happen, yeah, that could cause all kind of problems if somebody decided to haul off and do something malicious with that information.
Well, because I live here, anybody who's accessing the vein is going to know who Billy and I are
right.
because we live here.
Nevertheless, it is our team headquarters. It's where we conduct a lot of business,
Yeah.
Perhaps
practice,
we do
etc.
add-ons to the vein and make them a more private or executive officer, so to speak.
I wouldn't mind
Facility.
having my own wing.
Well, the way you smell, yes, you need your own.
Wow. I thought we'd forgotten about that already.
The
Perhaps there
nose
is,
never forgets.
What?
because we would want to share things such as the danger room
Right.
Clear.
for the advancement and honing of skills for
So maybe-
any new
maybe-
members.
So maybe
But-
make an Exion, Billy, and I's quarters private.
And
Do
then
not enter.
And
maybe-
of course, perhaps access to members of certain
standing.
rank or hierarchy or standing. But then, of course, with our new AI mainframe, if you will, they do not have access to modify any even settings, whereas there are those of us who can.
Those ideas, I can implement them, of course. within secrecy, Article 4, conduct of Code of Conduct, Section 2, secrecy, the civilian identities of members, excepting those whose civilian identities are already known to the general public, shall remain secret. And then you see him modify it to thou show secret to the public and to other legacy members in order to protect their loved ones and help maintain focus on the mission.
So then perhaps if new members have access to the vein where we conduct our business, perhaps we should have a public and a private area of the vein where in the public area we are in our uniforms.
Would we need there to be a public and private area? It may simply be easier that you do everything you can to leave your citizen life outside of the vein while we're here, and before entering, you attach or put on your legacy armor.
Well, that's why I was saying for the three of us who live here, we do need to have a secure location where the others would not have access to.
Understood. We do have an area that we can open up for said new location. It would take a bit of construction, some mining to remove the rock that's there, but we can do that.
Or alternately, we could find new places for you to live.
Yeah, I'm happy to find a place outside of the legacy once I get my feet under me.
And of
I gotta find some
course,
income.
speaking of which, Billy,
Yeah.
everyone here is already an executive at my company, Quantum Unlimited. That
All
option
right.
is also available to you if you so choose. You would be the head of a particular department, and you could choose what that would be. I would suggest in your case, perhaps something such as occultic or magical studies, or if you have the knowledge about it, since you have the implants, possibly cybernetics.
That's something I haven't done a lot of research into. I could certainly dive into the occult. I do my share of reading, that's for sure. But let me.
Hey, Billy.
Oh boy.
Billy.
Yeah.
He's asking
Yeah.
you to become Corpo.
I get it. Yeah, not lost on me, Mister.
Brr, 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 brr.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
And-
he's also asking me to officially join the legacy, which is now becoming an organization, right? So yeah, I know I'm tossing around how exactly I feel about that, but yeah, let me think on that. I mean, obviously the pay would be very welcome, and as long as it's something that's that's kind of my area, and I'm not like, don't expect me to be at meetings. But no, let me do some research on that. The problem with the cybernetic thing, man, like all that tech, anything I could possibly read, it's gone. It's all obliterated, and I don't have any texts on my little mobile device here. Like I got nothing. So I don't know how I would help there.
Your expertise lies more with the arcane than with that
Yeah.
technology.
Yeah.
Understood.
Well, it starts somewhere.
Would it be possible? I have recently gone into nanotechnology studies in which I have made some significant advancements for our current day and age here on Earth. Yet your cybernetics could help me quite significantly, especially where it is biologically interfaced.
Yeah. Like I said, you guys are. I'm happy to allow you guys to examine and study and I mean, if we can figure out a way to modify and enhance this thing, then I'm all for it.
I'm still working on weaponizing that arm.
and I'm happy to hear it because that sounds really, I like it a lot.
Hyperion, as they're talking, you can see that the monitor is trying to bring something in. It looks like
No,
since
so
you've taken stuff apart, you're gonna have to conduct some Vicarian calibrations on the system to get it back up to par.
okay.
Um,
Bill,
to
go ahead and deal with that.
to that end, also, if we are to expand to those outside of this circle, we're also going to want to keep the lines clear between Legacy and Quantum Unlimited.
Mm.
So, just I don't know what I mean. I don't know what exactly those lines are going to look like. It's just something that we ought to be aware of.
That may be easy to deal with. Honestly, my thoughts on that were, of course, to provide the opportunities to all of you being my relatives, and therefore all of you would be working there. I would think that future admittances to the legacy, new members would simply be members of the legacy and not necessarily employees of Quantum Unlimited. That can stay secret and separate. Therefore, including it in the charter would inadvertently eliminate that degree of secrecy.
Right.
Of course,
With regard to the charter and the resources, especially with respect to using different materials, any vehicles we have, the computer, and so forth, do you all believe that anything needs to be kept secret specifically, or should we delineate the use of resources in a different manner?
Well, I don't think they should have access to the ship.
That would
I
be
see it
something
that
that
as I know this is ironic, but I see it as Ixion's ship, and he should have the say on how it's handled.
I agree. We have technically been using it regardless of Ixion's whims or cares regarding his ownership of it, and I do apologize, brother, for doing that. However, would it be presumptuous of us to assume that you'd want the legacy to have greater access to your ship, or would you want to maintain full control over it?
at this current point in time, I believe that the current legacy would be the only ones to access it to where we would be able to pilot it. Now, if
Yeah.
there were cleared individuals, because of my alien nature, there that is something that I would find harder to interact with the populace readily for the purposes of acquiring a domicile outside of the vein. My nutritional requirements are hard to come by without access to the equipment here at the vein, as well as my ship. I would be willing to be the, so to speak, caretaker of the vein, in which, with the full access that I already have, I would be able to stay here when I am not on mission. And that way we would know that there's someone here.
That was something else I was
Mhm.
going to touch on as well, is because before Billy came, it was pretty much me and Ixion here on a full time basis. And so the vein was never, unless we're all gone, but was not protected. And now, especially since we do not have mainframe, I think it's important to have a permanent presence here.
One moment. And you see Hyperion turn to the computer, and he hits a few buttons, and he pulls up like the main feed that's coming through on the main screen and puts the audio through the speakers.
So as you see that, you can see a news crew is currently reporting a crisis in downtown Strongford. There are plant creatures that are on the rise and are rampaging, trying to wreck anything in their path.
Has there been any results from my ship as of yet with throwing that stuff in the analyzers?
No, not yet.
Okay.
You
Well,
need to respond immediately.
looks like your plat buddies are back.
I guess so. The way
I
that
believe I
I
may be able to help. I wonder if the cold that I might be able to generate may affect the plant life similarly to how normal plant life reacts to it.
I think
goes
it
normal.
likely would. The way that we fought it yesterday was essentially I absorbed and blocked the ultraviolet, basically kept the sun from shining on it so that it shrunk back into a normal size.
Then
I
let us
would think-
refine our plan on the way. Armor
I
up
would,
and head to the ship.
and I would think that a little zap of electricity would stunt them as well.
You know, Billy's like, I could always transform into fire. Just saying.
Really,
Yeah.
that could be
Just,
hopeful.
transform into fire and become a tree hugger. Spreading the love, baby.
So everybody makes their way to the ship
Yeah.
at this point.
Billy grabs his guitar.
Okay. And you, with maybe a couple minutes to spare, you head on. Who's flying the ship, anyways? Is it Xenofreeze? Okay.
Yep.
Up and away, and out you go. Out from the top of the vein, which is closer towards the top of the mountain. Kind of make a U-ey, come out from behind it and start heading into Strongford proper. You can already see smoke rising from downtown. And
Lovely.
with a brief burst of acceleration, you guys are downtown. You can see that there is quite a bit of commotion. Hoplite units are attempting to engage on one block. It's actually spread. Whatever is happening is smack dab in the middle near one of the parks in Strongford. So it's like there's the park, and then there's several office buildings. There's like plant life, like grass and vine kind of coming off, almost as if it looked like someone put a lot of vitamin weed on the place, and it just sprung up, massively. And of course you can see a lot of humanoid looking plant life that has broken off, most of them looking tree like, some wood that are a little bit taller than average human height, so somewhere between 5'7" and 5'10" ish, and they're going around and wrecking things, and at this point one of the trees from the park has already uprooted itself, and it's already like 3 stories tall, and it's just wantonly crashing into any building that's nearby. You can also see
Friggin'
that.
March of the Ants.
So you can also see that the large one, like just as you guys get pulled up, or I should say get pulled up, but come into the vicinity here and flying, which you can also see that there are 2 news helicopters pointing down and monitoring the action at this point. You can see that it ends up getting clocked in the chest region with a large sledgehammer and gets knocked into one of the buildings as sledgehammer is already engaged. And you can see Wraith actually swinging by nearby. It looks like he's attempting to engage some of the smaller ones.
So let me get this straight. Are we watching non-sentient trees becoming sentient and
Yes.
like, oh, that's fun. Okay.
How many of those tree things are there?
Well, the ship doesn't have a way of calculating that because it can't calculate right now, like like a target finder sort of thing. But guessing just by visual, you're seeing at least 20 to 30. Only like 3 of them are really big right now. The rest of them are like, human sized, running around, rampaging in the area.
Okay.
Do we attempt to try to communicate with them?
Did that work with you at all before, Lightbringer?
I didn't try negotiating, but it did speak.
I think we need to find the source. Because if these are trees that yesterday were just ordinary trees, something is causing them to come to life and do this. This isn't. I mean, we can fight trees all day long, but there's a lot of trees, and
Right.
there's plenty more, and this could just continue to spread unless we figure out why this is happening.
How close is this to the mall?
Good question. It is about 4 blocks. The mall in question where that happened is about 4 blocks south from here.
Yes, let's protect them all.
And and how close is it to the company?
Stone, whatever.
Shadestone.
Shadestone.
How close is it to Shadestone?
Nowhere near it.
Okay. Just had to follow up.
Sure. No, all great questions.
So Hyperion goes, we do need to find the source, but right now we need to stop what's happening here and protect the civilians.
That's fair.
Well, that's why I was kind of wondering if we tried to communicate with maybe the larger one to see if maybe there's some way we can make it stop without having to destroy any more sentient beings.
So as you guys are currently discussing amongst yourselves, you can see that one of the 3 that are not currently engaged trees actually visually starts growing in height, and it is roughly 5 stories at this point, and it is in the process of bringing down a nearby skyscraper.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, we gotta do something now.
All right, autopilot.
Okay.
Sean, can you teleport us to that tree?
Yes, and that's exactly what she'll do.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and give me a teleportation roll?
Oh my goodness. You be nice, Roller.
How close are we? Like right above it? Are we like right above that tree?
No.
No. All right. Ooh,
Yellow.
Yes.
Okay, so you end up teleporting, and you really didn't specify as about above. So you guys like materialize out of thin air and then land on the tree creature. So like suddenly you're up like in its branches and effectively like its hair and whatnot.
Okay. Does it have like an apparent face, or does it have somewhere where it's like talking or doing anything like
It does have a face, not as not like an ent, not like where it looks like that. More just looks like it's kind of got some knots that look like they're probably posing as eyes, and a kind of a gaping hole that's operating kind of like a mouth.
Okay. Then Hyperion is going to generate a hovering copy, photonic copy, so that it's facing the tree's face. And from it, he's going to say, "Do you understand what I'm saying?"
Okay, and we are now in combat round. Everybody go ahead and roll 1d10.
Oh, jeez.
Two for Hyperion.
I have 6.
3.
I forget how we do that. / right?
Yeah.
Slash
roll.
R
Slash R
space
space.
1d10.
/R space.
Ooh,
9.
9.
Ooh. I guess me first.
And Mike?
Yes.
What'd you
Oh,
get?
7.
7, okay. Okay, and Shelly, what'd you get?
3.
3, okay, thank you. All right, let's see what they get. Woohoo! Everybody's going before them. All right, so starting with Derek. What is Xenofreeze doing?
Since we are in the tree, then I am reaching for the largest branches, and I am not like doing it to where I would freeze it solid, right? But I am kind of hyper chilling the tree itself. So I'm cooling it down as if it were freezing outside.
So you are trying to rapidly change the temperature around the area.
Correct. Even to the point of having just like, even if it's like a thin layer of crust of ice around the whole thing, but like having that radiate inward to where it's not. I'm understanding that prior to understanding that this is my mentality is if this is a sentient being somehow now, like some sort of spirit has been put into this tree and now it's a living being, that I'm not trying to flash freeze it solid and kill it. Now, if it's a tree and somebody's animated it, then you know what? Greenpeace, whatever.
Gotcha.
I'm freezing this thing.
Yeah.
So,
Right? But at this point in time, I'm like.
So what you can do at this point is you can cold
Mhm.
generate. You don't have the ability to actually manipulate the cold. So if you want to try and put it in a block of ice by generating cold, yeah, you can do that. You don't
Good,
have the
that's what I'll do.
ability to affect the ambient temperature directly
Right.
like that.
Okay.
So if that's what you're going to do, go ahead and roll a roll against your agility.
I didn't do it. Exclamation point.
Mhm.
Roll. EX, right? No spaces, no nothing.
Correct. Are you doing it in Discord?
Yes.
I'm not even seeing it pop up.
Are you doing it in the super rolls?
Yeah.
It's not even showing up.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
not even showing.
That's weird.
It's in red. It turned red. The text turned red. Yeah, I see that Brittany and Jerome are typing.
I'm not typing anything. I just pulled it up.
Yeah, but I see Shelly is typing.
I don't see your typing though. It could be your connection.
Yeah, it's working.
It's working for me. I mean, I got a white, but it's working. But that wasn't a real roll. That was a test.
No, I
All
know.
right. Yeah, it's turning red. And I'm doing it exactly the same. Exclamation point, roll, EX.
Right, but you
All right,
also
is it a capital E and a capital X?
Yes.
so I'm also noticing your connection is dipping in and out some, so that could be why. You may need to back out of Discord and come back into it.
Okay, I'll do that then.
You could also try it on your phone if you have Discord on your phone.
Oh, yeah, I could do that. I think I have. Yeah, I do have Discord on my phone. Never mind. Let me get back here. Where am I at here? Why am I not? My text channels. On here, I only have. Oh, it just said my internet connection was restored. That's weird. Why didn't I lose the stream? That's kind of weird.
The stream may have been taking up most of the bandwidth because, like I said, your connection's been dipping in and out some.
There we go. I see your tab.
There it
You
is.
do now?
Yep.
Yes.
And
There
yeah,
it
white
goes.
feet.
That sucks.
Oh
I'm a
God,
reroll.
it's not working yet. It came up with a white feet. Oh no.
Yeah, I'm reroll. I'm using
Oh,
one of my two
no.
rerolls.
Oh, okay. Reroll time.
Oh,
Still white.
So
You gotta tell it to be nice.
you got seven more points higher.
6.
Yeah.
Or 6. All right, so he shoots down, but as he
It's a little
fires
colder.
down to bulk up some ice, the tree creature kind of steps back a little bit because this image of something is in front of it, magically out of nowhere. And Xenofreeze ends up striking the front of the building, causing the front doors to get completely iced over. So, that is on 9. We're at 7 at this point. Does
All
Mikey
right.
like it?
Mikey likes it. The GM has answered my question in a really specific way. So,
Uh-oh.
yeah. I assume from your answer, what you're getting at is because we don't know whether they're sentient or not, we don't know whether it would affect us negatively, correct?
That is correct, because you
Got
have
it.
no way of actually ascertaining it, if it's just a possession or if it's actual life.
Yeah.
Right.
Like clearly, that's what Hyperion's trying to discern right now with this question to see if it reacts.
Yeah. What the hell? I'm going to try something and see what happens. I'm going to try to. We're in the tree, though.
Yeah.
You are in the tree, yes.
Yeah. And I was thinking about casting fear on it, but because I'm not in front of it, it wouldn't run away from me. It would probably, like I'm in its hair, it would probably just freak the hell out if it was sentient. I'm actually going to, if allowed, I'm going to hold my action until after Hyperion.
Sure. Hyperion. So that was 7. So actually, we're at Brittany now.
Yeah. Hyperion's on this.
In light of that discussion, I am going to do a empathy check on
There
the
we
tree.
There
All
we
right.
go.
You're
So
going to
that's
pull a Deanna Troy.
Psyche.
Yes, you're going to pull a Deanna Troy and see if you can pick up anything.
Use her beta Z powers.
And a white.
Nice.
Hmm.
All right.
If you collectively add up all 3 of the last 3, I think it's a yellow. I think it might be a yellow.
Oh my god.
So Lightbringer, there's a lot of confusion going on right now. You're unable to determine that because of all of the other individuals that are around you that are either alarmed or uh, basically like there's too much emotion around you. There's a lot of cause of terror and alarm from people around, and you're not able to isolate it down to the tree in essence. So we're at Dale. Oh no, Shelly. Sorry.
Um, are any of the members like within arm's reach of me?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
you guys are in essence its hair. So standing on its head.
We are tree dandruff.
Yeah, you're next to like all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I could teleport us all to the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what
100%.
I'll do.
Okay. So,
So,
poof, poof, poof.
yep.
So I'm not going to make you roll for it. You can actually spot it, and it's not that far away. So in a blink of an eye, everybody goes from being in the tree down to nearby it, standing right in front of an alleyway in between two skyscrapers.
Yeah, I don't want to be stepped on. So enough, to be out of foot range.
Dale.
Okay. So yeah, I still have my my hologram there, hovering there, trying to get a reaction from it, see if it says anything. Now that we've teleported, are we still in like line of sight of this
Yes.
tree? Okay.
Yeah, which means he could technically stomp on you too, just as an FYI. But
Yeah, I was trying to get like out of range of the stomp.
yeah, you'd have to go a lot further than that, which you can. But that means you're going to be out of range to affect much of what he's doing.
Okay.
So while he's got the thing trying to talk and get a response out of the tree, he's gonna say, Lightbringer, if you can fly and make sure that other civilians are okay. Xenofreeze, if you can work to create ice barriers to stop the rest from destroying other property. Shown, if you can also teleport higher and see if you can get more information about where they're all coming from, perhaps the source of where they're coming from.
Okay, I'll teleport up to one of the rooftops.
On your action.
Yeah.
So that's Dale. So Dale, at this point, Hyperion issuing commands real quickly, and as you're doing that, you hear the giant tree thing beckon out as it swings, and of course goes right through your hologram.
Okay.
It screams, "This is punishment for damaging Mother Earth. You line her body with black lines of scars. Now we will bring your empire to its knees." Like a whole bunch of cement and glass and everything goes shattering, falling to the ground as he's taking whacks, like real hard strikes at this building. This building's not going to be able to withstand much more of that if he keeps it up. He's putting a good beating on this poor
All
building.
right.
So the you also see at this point off to your side on the same block but down a little bit further, you see Sledgehammer end up taking his hammer, nailing it in effectively what would be its knee, and you can hear like wood splintering like all over the place as it falls to the ground, and he quickly leaps up on top of it and is trying to like heave the arm of the creature behind its effective back.
Trying to pin it or whatever.
He's trying to do something to subdue it and keep it down, as best as possible. It's clear he's kind of out of his depth as well. Hey, Davy Jones, welcome back.
Hey, Davey.
And then you end up seeing Wraith swinging by on a cable. And he ends up saying, "Hey, Legacy, thanks for stopping by. This is a party line, so don't mind if I can't stay anytime soon." And he swings on by.
Can I go ahead and take that action?
You
He's
can.
sure quippy.
Okay. I am going to hit this thing with the hardest sound manipulation I can possibly manage, just to try and get it away from these buildings.
So
See if it
we're
has
gonna
any effect
so
whatsoever.
we're going to pull Back to the Future.
Yes,
Ta-da!
yes. I'm hesitant to use fire or electricity because, yeah, there's a couple of reasons why actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to go strum and hit it with a sonic blast. You don't. It is a radius
Oops.
effect, so you don't have to roll
Oh, okay.
to
I
strike.
forgot the
It has to actually
exclamation
make
point.
an endurance check.
Okay.
And in fact, everyone around him. So I need all of you to make endurance checks as well.
Tell you what.
With the exception of you, the rest of the team needs to make endurance checks too.
All right.
Okay, so before you guys do anything or make your rolls, he ends up like grabbing his pick real fast and ta-da! And you see like you can actually see like the light around him start to waver as the sonic vibration like flies out and strikes this thing, and it takes the hit. You can actually see like branches and leaves like go flying off of it in particles, like parts of some bark. And I mean, like it connected much like you'd expect those gigantic amps hitting, McFly to this tree, just like boom, and it's like stumbling backwards, and somebody needs to yell timber. So go ahead and roll your endurances and let's see what we got.
White.
Okay.
Green.
Yellow.
And waiting on Xenofreeze.
Derek
He's got green.
got a green. Yeah.
Okay.
Green. I said green. I just didn't.
Okay.
I forgot I had it. I don't know.
All right. So just as Shone is getting ready to teleport away to go up to topside, she was not ready for the concert of a lifetime.
Sorry.
And suddenly you are stunned as you're like holding your hands over your ears, like what? Like you can feel your teeth chattering from that. The rest of you like caught it just out of like your peripheral as you're getting ready to part and do what Hyperion ordered, and had enough good sense to duck behind him a little bit because it's going to be going outward, and then cover your ears. So it's still loud, and it's a little on the painful side, but it did not affect you guys.
Does it? So, out of curiosity, because of my genetics and how I used to communicate within the water, almost like the squeals and quips and groans and stuff like that, not unlike whale sounds, right? Does this, like, would I be more resilient or more susceptible to sound waves like this? I would think I would be because of that. I would be more resilient because it's an all-encompassing thing because I don't really have ears as per se.
You're not in water right now.
So
you're
it's
not,
the way
you're not
that it
in water, and
reverberates.
you're not currently liquid.
So it affects me differently now. Then.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
But it's still an all-over body effect, though, for me, though. Probably
Yeah.
vibrates my gelatin.
Well, that was the result I wanted, sort of, but
Ta-da!
yeah.
So it's like tumbling backwards at this point and falls down with a loud thud, smashing one of the nearby cars. The alarm was going off, but it's like as the tree just smashes into it.
2 problems with 1 attack. Yes.
All right. Top of the round, we are back at Derek. So you had the option to put up a wall someplace. You have 4 different streets to choose from.
How does the building look?
Give me a reason check. Unfortunately, I don't have any construction-related skills, which would have helped.
Looks like
But-
a building.
You're not dumb.
Green.
Okay.
You're not dumb, and that ain't nothing.
And that ain't nothing. So looking at it, the fact that the creature was knocked away helped. If it sustains more damage, it's probably going to come down.
Is it stable right now?
Right now, it appears to be stable. But any more damage,
this is a high rise.
it's a skyscraper. So any more damage above the 5th floor, that every other floor on there is going to come tumbling down. So you're talking like 12 more stories.
Is this a is this a business? Is this
There are
Like how many people are in there?
you don't
Right.
actually have the time to examine
Right.
what exactly is in the building.
But knowing what's here in Strongford, I mean, is there business high rises, or would this skyscraper be residential?
There's a papers floating about.
You're in the heat of the fight right now. You
Right.
don't have the opportunity to examine that unless you would like to pause and determine.
No. I just know if this thing comes down, it's going to cause many deaths. And I think in my mind, I am going to generate at the most structural point that I would understand. I'm not, like you say, I'm not an engineer or anything else like that, but I know, like, theoretically, like if the building's normally like this and there's like a chunk taken out of it, so
Right.
to speak,
You're
right?
going to try and reinforce it with
I'm
some sort of ice column.
I'm going to fill the void.
Sure.
And
Can Billy see what he's doing?
Yeah.
Because one of the things that I studied was structural engineering.
Okay. So why don't you give me a reason check then? So your reason is what? And then roll that in the chat.
Green.
Okay. If you want to shout out to him where you think the part is weakest, Xenofreeze, he's basically helping you with a called shot. So you will have to shoot your ice, but you'll be a column shift up for your agility check.
Nice.
Sweet.
a column shift up because he's directing me.
Yes, because he's
Right.
basically directing
Awesome.
you where to fire.
Okay.
Did not think structural engineering was going to come in handy in a fight.
There you go. You never know.
Everything comes in handy.
Right? That's great.
Do you?
What?
Does he?
Does he what?
Tell me where to shoot it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Okay. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you say like, yeah, over there. Okay.
Yeah, Billy's basically like yelling at you, trying to it's left corner to
I didn't hear you.
Light feet.
Wow. Even with the column shift up. Okay, so
Damn it.
But I'm just filling the void, so I'm still reinforcing it, but it's not
you're-
as effective.
you're icing the building at this point. You didn't get the spot that you wanted. But the benefit is if there's anybody on the inside, they're experiencing a winter wonderland. So you kind of go, ha, and you ice up the side of the building where it didn't really need it, but you're still firing. So you can
Billy's
swing,
like,
maybe you can
"Not
swing
there."
it back around.
Further left. 10
Uh,
feet left.
so we
Deeper.
are at, so that was Derek.
Your other left.
Yeah, other
Yeah,
left.
your other left. So we're at Mike.
Jesus, give me your arms. Here.
He's all just
So you're
shoot.
just gonna try and grab his arm mid shooting and guide it where it needs to go, like a water hose.
Yeah, he's an ice gun now.
Oh.
Picks him up.
That's funny.
I mean, you can if you want.
That was
You know what? What the hell? Why not? That's
Okay.
funny. I like it. I like it. I'm
So-
like, no. Here.
So it will be like controlling in essence like a fire hydrant, a water blast. Make a strength check first.
Oh boy.
Both of us or just him?
Okay. Would
If you
Is
would like
there
to spend,
anything that I could use to help? Because my strength is garbage.
you can spend karma.
Well, what is
What's your strength at?
No, my strength is a 6. It's like
Oh.
it's one of those bad rolls that
Just
I
typical.
stuck there.
So
Okay,
he's
just
average human strength. So
Yep.
if that being
So
the
we
case,
could.
you
Yeah.
could spend some karma. He has actually some karma on his sheet still.
Yeah, I do. I
Oh,
do.
okay.
And so what? How does that work, and what does that do?
Well, however much you spend is what is basically the bonus you're giving to your die roll.
Oh, cool.
You
All
just
right.
add it.
I'm gonna
And all
spend
you
If,
need
30.
to
if you
all
spend
you
30,
need
then
is
you add 30 to your roll.
all you need is a green result to grab a hold of his arms and then push it. You're still gonna have to make an agility check, but I know your agility is better.
Okay. So
So
how
your
do I
minimum
how do I
is
roll that? Like if let's say I spend 30.
So then what you're gonna do is roll what you have for your roll the result and then just add 30 to it.
Okay. Shot. Oh my
Holy
god, I
cow.
got a 75. So yeah, 105.
Make it
So
work.
Red result.
Yeah, so that is a red result. So
105.
you
Yeah.
easily yank his arms over real quick as he's doing this. Make an
this is
agility
hysterical.
check at this point. You're one column shift up for your structural integrity training.
Okay.
The new fastball special.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just aiming your brother's arms.
Yellow.
Or
Power stat.
Yeah, that's a yellow.
uncle.
Okay. So you quickly grab a hold of him and you're like, no, this way, your other left. And then just, and you're basically, you've got a hold of his arms and using him like an ice hose, just
Funny.
freezing to the side right here and putting columns in to reinforce that. As comical it is, you are successful and that building is successfully reinforced.
High five.
High five.
Yeah.
So that was Mike. We are now at Brittany.
Are you sure you want me to do crowd control or should I dampen the UV?
Have Billy grab
If you think that can stop them faster, do it. Trust your experience.
Okay. Do I need to roll for flying?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna fly up to about the same height as the 5-story guy.
So 5
And,
stories. Okay.
Right. Give or take.
Give or take a
and
couple
I'm
inches based upon your height.
Jeez.
I'm gonna try what I did the other day where I
You're attempting to remove the UV in his
Yes.
vicinity. All right.
yes.
So go ahead. You have that level of radiation control. So it is a radius effect. It is just your power itself.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, so EX20.
Your radiation control. Right. That is correct.
Do you think you
Should
might?
I use karma for that?
We can't. So you're at EX20. You said for that.
Yeah.
If we spent 40, that would guarantee at least a green result. That might be good because there's so many of these. We want to pare them down as rapidly as possible. You okay, team, with spending 40 so she can do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage.
Good thing. That makes it a
6.
green result.
46.
We are hot tonight.
All right. So you basically fly up and start, holding out your hands to really focus again. And it's this whole removing UV is still kind of foreign to you.
It's a new function.
Yeah. You can do it. It's just kind of in reverse. And
Yeah.
much like driving a car in reverse, it's a little alien, but you're getting it. And you can already start to see some of the effects on the tree. It's not shrinking at the rate that you got before, but you're getting there. You guys can now see that Lightbringer starts to radiate with a purple glow.
I've seen that before.
So that was Brittany. So we are at Shelley. You
Am
were
I still stunned?
Yes.
So I'm going to go take a bathroom break, so I'll be back.
Give me an endurance check real quick.
Nope.
Or not.
Her endurance failed because that's why she has to go right now to the bathroom.
Yes.
Oh, Galen, hold on. Let me roll first. Good grief. Endurance, incredible. Nice. Yellow.
Okay, so you're able to shake it off. You will act next round.
Okay,
Dale.
I'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. So, based on what Lightbringer's doing, what effects do I see? What is she accomplishing so far?
Right now, you actually see that the absence of sunlight seems to be directly affecting the large tree creature, and it is starting to shrink.
Okay. All right. So this large creature. Well, you know what? Let's do it.
Creature.
Creature. Yeah, tree creature.
Creature.
You know what? I'm calling it that. It's awesome. I'm calling it that from now on. This large creature, Hyperion he's going to go up to it and go ahead and give it a smack as well, just to make sure. Or actually, he was using his roots or something as legs and
Yes.
things. See, so and Sledgehammer is like also trying to deal with this same creature at the same time.
A different
First
one,
he
but yes.
Different one. Okay. Then if he's dealing with a different one, I'm gonna do like something similar. Then I'm gonna follow what he's doing, but for this creature that we just knocked over, so Hyperion's gonna go up to it and kind of like grab hold of its branches so that it like has a harder time trying to like get up, so that it keeps shrinking.
So you're going to attempt to utilize your strength to kind of like what Sledgehammer's doing and keeping it to the ground.
Right.
Okay. So you run up there. Go ahead and roll your fighting. If you have, I believe it's a grappling martial art, which I know you've picked up some of those. You will be up one column shift.
Sweet. Yeah, he's got wrestling, so he can go ahead and do that. That's incredible. Green feet.
Okay, that is enough. So now that the limbs are being kind of used like actual limbs on an individual, you put, what did you say, a leg or an arm?
We're gonna go for arm.
Okay. So then you kind of do the same thing. You grab that arm and pin it back behind itself to try and keep it off balance, and you're pushing down with your pretty hefty strength to keep it overpowered too as best you can. That is Dale. Their turn. Lightbringer, from your vantage point, because you're up in the air, you end up seeing Wraith swing by. He somehow like lassos. He's using a cable to swing around, but he wraps a cable around two of the small ones that are human sized, and as he's holding, you can hear him straining. He's basically swinging with his momentum and then pinning his cable around a light post to gain additional momentum to basically slingshot them your way. And you end up hearing Wraith yell, "Heads up!" And you actually, this is Sledgehammer's attack. So Sledgehammer, very similar to Hyperion, he's got the one pinned. It's still thrashing around because it's not in the radius of Lightbringer's lack of UV assault. So he turns around, and when he hears that, you end up seeing the optic blast from Sledgehammer go out, and it actually zaps one of the human-sized ones and incinerates it.
He has optic blasts?
Yeah.
I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, he used that during our fight with Blackout.
That would explain why he wears the visor.
You got a cool boyfriend.
Yes. Like, not during the battle.
Oh my god!
She hasn't even said hi to him.
She's like,
So, but the other one is still flying. So, at this point, we are at the top of the round. Derek.
So now that I'm like, and now I'm going off, and I start pursuing or trying to corral the smaller entities. And if I accidentally hit one of them in ice, then so be it. I know a
So you're
tree
gonna
will
try to
survive
freeze
it.
up the other one that's flying towards you guys.
Yes. So is there multiple ones, or is it just
There
one big
was.
one?
There were two.
Oh, the trees
Oh,
can
okay.
fly now?
No,
Oh, okay.
They're just
they
coming
were
towards
they
us. So,
they were forcibly yeeted.
oh, okay.
Somebody, so Sledgehammer yeeted them.
No,
No.
Wraith did actually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See what
Okay.
happens when you go to the
So
bathroom
yeah,
and miss out stuff.
just I'm block icing them. I mean,
Okay.
because yeah.
Hit it with that agility.
So he's going to hit the entities.
Yep.
The
Entities.
Entities.
Yes.
The
You're
smaller
so
ones are
smart.
the entities, and the bigger ones are the creatures.
creatures. Yep, we got it. Oh,
I'll be waiting in the ship.
All
Wait,
right.
Out of character.
Oh,
So,
I missed the
Billy,
tree
you
line.
gotta take over again.
I flocked the branches. It looks
yeah,
like
so
a
Xenofreeze
Christmas
at
tree
this
now.
point needs to spend some time in the danger room, skeet shooting. Apparently, so he
Does
fires.
he need glasses?
He fires maybe. So he
Maybe.
fires off another ice blast. It thankfully it's an ice blast. It's not like ice shards or anything. So he basically snows and coats another building adjacent to you guys in ice. The other entity ends up falling and hitting the ground. It's in the realm of combat at this point, as it's getting back up to recover. Mike, it is your action.
Okay. So, big one's down. The ones that were flying at us are no longer flying at us.
One
Or-
of them kind of turned into a fireball, and the other one hit the ground and tumbled. And it's not that far from you guys, in the middle of the street.
But the fireball one is still coming at us?
No, it hit the ground and it's like ash.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. I would like to try and do a more directional attack
Okay.
at so the one's on fire. Let's see if I can push that little one further away from us, just to
So you're
keep our
going
space.
more for a direct sonic attack as opposed to like a sonic wave.
Yeah, I don't want to do the AOE thing again, just because I don't want to hurt my peeps or stun my peeps more.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
You rolled smaller
Wow,
than me.
dude.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, so at this point he's
yeah.
like
I think Derek broke it.
grabs
Yeah, right.
the neck of grabs the neck of his guitar,
got a case
strums
of the
out another
Britneys.
Couple notes, and you guys see a more directionally challenged blast like
Yeah.
fly off.
Ugh.
And it ends up like hitting the ground before it ever gets near the entity, and it's kind of blows up a bunch of additional road chunks and asphalt. Kind of goes flying. Unfortunately, just the aim wasn't there.
Right.
So we are at Brittany. You are continuing,
So-
yes?
Yes. Do I roll endurance?
You roll endurance to hold, yes.
Can I try to beef it up?
What's your
So
endurance at?
you are attempting to push it.
Yeah. If I did that,
Wow.
what would I roll?
Well, first you got to hold it. So roll your endurance because you're basically trying to. It's like a sustained hold at this point. So,
Did you just say you got to know when to hold them?
No. Got to know when to hold them, when to fold them.
Green.
Hey, it's green.
Okay, so exercising has done you well. So you are holding this at its current level. Go ahead and roll your power result to see if you can push it. If you're attempting to push it, you need a yellow result or higher.
Okay. If
wanna
I
spend some
fail
more
at
karma?
that, then what?
If
Give her
you
some more
fail at that,
karma.
it just stays where it's at.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're
You
already
want
holding
karma?
it. You're just trying to get something better out of it. So.
Oh,
98.
I guess you don't need no karma.
Yeah, exactly.
Red
Nice.
result.
You just get on with your best self.
All right, so you see her kind of like hold out again, almost like she's the emperor at this point, firing lightning, but there's no lightning going anywhere. She's just like really. Maybe she just doesn't like trees. I
She's the
mean,
color of my lights here.
she is
Yeah.
Yeah.
she is
Yes.
on it and is just. I mean, you can actually visibly see ambient color at this point in this area start to just drain away. So it would almost be like if somebody in this one particular section of the street had some sort of lampshade that was like complete blackout. So
Yeah.
there's still sun, ambient sun around it that can get in, right? Much like, like a dark room or something. But that's kind of the effect that's happening now. It's like she is really affecting the light source here. And you can actually see the glow width of her that's coming off of her at this point is like 5 inches. Like she's got a corona of purple coming off her at this point. And because she scored so high, now you start to see the creature rapidly start shrinking and withering to the extent of if she can hold this up next round, it's gone.
What about how big is the range? Is it affecting all the other ones in the
No,
forest?
but it would affect anything else that falls into it. So, for example, if somebody just wants to give a stiff arm to the entity and knock it in there, it could possibly affect it.
That's
that was-
kind of what I
that-
was thinking.
That was Brittany. Shelley, you have recovered.
Yeah. So could I possibly put out enough of an electrical charge that I could knock it into Lightbringer's radius?
That's entirely possible. It depends
Okay.
on how well you strike and
I would
how
like
much
to do
power.
that.
How much power are you putting to this? You can go up to
Oh,
AM50, correct?
yeah. I think
Okay.
I'm going to do the whole AM50.
All right. So go ahead and roll an agility check and let the shooting commence.
Okay. And unearthly is UN, right?
Yep.
Boy, if I get a white on this, I quit. Red feet.
Nice.
Okay. Well, last time we rolled a red feat with that power. Wondering
Yeah.
if you remember what happened.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
it's probably a good thing that you've got lightning from Big Trouble in Little China on your team. So she just turns around and says, "Ah!" and this big arc of electricity flies off of her, strikes the small tree, and this is effectively, because of her power rank, what it would look like if a storm formed and the lightning decided to skip every other big tree in the area and focus on that sapling.
Yeah.
And it's like in an instant it's gone. It's like there's embers, there's there's
it's like taking a flaming stick and hitting it and having the things just
Yeah.
kind of fall
yeah,
down.
pretty much
Yeah.
just like
those
it hits and it
just
just
sparkly
disintegrates.
embers just kind of, cool.
Okay.
Oops.
He gone.
Okay.
Dale, you were attempting to continue the hold, correct?
Yeah, and this is the one that is shrinking now.
Yes. Roll strength.
Yeah, do that. Strength.
Strength is up 1 column shift since you were applying the lock or the hold.
Okay, cool. Oh, jeez.
Dope.
Do I have a re-roll? I do have a re-roll.
Okay,
Gonna do it.
mark that off. Roll it again.
There, red
There
feet.
we go.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
All right, so that thing is pinned down. As you can feel, probably the reason why you initially had problems with it is because it's shrinking at such a rapid rate. You lost a little bit of the hold, but yeah, you quickly turn and crank that back down and keep that thing pinned. as you just all of the light around you is just being sapped out of that area. So let's see. Lightbringer, roll your roll your agility.
Do I use my danger sense?
That's why you're rolling your agility. Your
Oh.
agility is higher than your danger sense, yes?
They're the same.
Okay, so yeah. Roll your agility.
Do I add acrobatics?
Yes.
Okay. Where's the scale? What's after?
MN75. Monstrous.
I don't think I'm that far. What's
you have a
after? What's
40?
after incredible? Yeah.
Amazing.
Amazing.
50.
AM. Okay. 95.
Nice.
Nice. Woohoo.
I think that's a success.
Yeah.
I think so. So as you are focusing really hard and you didn't break your concentration, instinctively you feel the need to like kind of shirk a little bit and dip out of the way as you end up seeing a sharpened branch go flying past you.
Ooh.
Nice.
And then
Davey, you only say so because you missed like the 15, 20 minutes before.
yeah. Admittedly, Davey, you came in at the time that they're starting to hit it because every one of them
Yeah.
had white results just before you
Oh,
showed up.
it was bad.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
actually
And
had
I
to
still
combine
am.
like 4 rolls to get one success.
It was bad.
And
Must
then
be our good luck charm.
Yeah.
Shelly.
What about
me?
You broke the dice roller.
You did not see it. You get struck by one of their spears, but I don't know if it's even going to hurt. Hold on a second.
Depends on what kind of tree it is.
Let's see. Hang on a second. Ranged attack. Oh, give me an endurance check.
Oh boy. Okay. Oops. Yellow.
Okay, so you're fine. What ended up happening is one of those spear things caught you right in the head. Your armor absorbed the damage, so you're lucky there. But because it was a sharpened point, it actually had the opportunity to potentially stun you because it just luckily wound up being an accurate shot. But it just ticked you off, mussed your hair a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
So, hey, Derek, you end up having one jump on you and start trying to nom you. And your guys' collective armor does GD10 protection, correct?
Yes.
Yes, that is it. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of them jumps on your back from behind, one of the entities, and it bites like right here on your shoulder. You feel the pressure, and it would probably start to hurt if there was more force behind it. It's actually not doing any damage because your suit is actually absorbing that.
You got bit by a tree?
He got bit by a sapling.
That's weird.
Yes.
This whole thing's weird.
Yeah.
You just don't want him to puncture the skin because then he's going to become a dead sapling alien.
Check all them boxes.
And Mike, we have not actually given you a uniform yet, unfortunately.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Another spear thing gets thrown at you.
Yay.
that is also going to hurt. So go ahead and roll your endurance.
Oh, endurance.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're accurate for throwing these spears, but I don't know if they're going to do a whole lot of damage.
Green.
Okay, so you got a green result. That's not enough. So this one does stun you as it strikes. You end up getting hit for 10 points of damage. Thankfully,
Good.
it wasn't anything vital, but you end up getting basically like a spear stuck into your shoulder.
Awesome. That's fun.
It's gonna leave a mark.
Welcome to the legacy.
You just
You
been
s-
initiated.
You said transformation is a focus thing, right?
Yes.
Does that mean I cannot do other attacks, or does it mean that there's just a chance it'll drop?
It just means there's a chance it would drop. But
Okay.
it
I
means
have
you
a
have to
thought.
take an action to transform first.
Right. I have a thought.
Sure. Okay. And then last, at this point, Sledgehammer can tell that Lightbringer is doing something, because Hyperion is apparently holding this thing down, and it's shrinking. So he takes a moment to grab a hold of the tree, because it's still full sized at this point, and he just gives it a German suplex. Just Hyperion, you end up taking a total of 15 points of damage, but I think most of that is still absorbed in your armor.
He's got a total physical armor rating of RM 30.
Yeah,
with
you're
his
fine.
powers and, okay.
Yeah, so it hits. Unfortunately, because it's so big, he couldn't do an accurate job of not hitting you.
Sure.
But at this point, Lightbringer, if you keep it up, you're going to be shriveling down another one as he, suplex this one back into your radius to try and get that one to shrink as well.
Hyperion just needs a little bit of turtle wax to fix the damage that he just took.
Yeah, you just need a little buff. It's all
Yeah,
good.
little buff out.
And Davey, to answer your question, the question's better. What doesn't Billy transform into?
Yeah. Sorry,
I'm
trying to log in, so
Yeah, I can
answer.
tell you, KY jelly is one of the things he does not transform into.
Oh my.
A red semi truck.
But he does have plenty of cool forms you can transform into.
Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
he transforms into Soundwave because he already has the sound
Yes.
attack.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
And he starts ejecting robot cartridges from his chest.
Yeah.
A
That
little
would be
bird,
awesome.
a little
We're
dog.
we're at the top of the next round. Derek, it is back to you.
All right.
You might want to use some karma.
I can withstand myself. I'm radiating as much cold as possible.
Okay, so you're just going to generate ice all around.
I
you.
am chilling myself down.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead
mean,
and
because
roll your
that's
power
what I did. That's what I did when I was, when I realized my power rank had
Yep.
gone way up, and I was just like, yeah. So I'm basically doing my power focus to
Dragon
where I'm
Ball.
trying to get as cold. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So what do I roll?
Just your power rank.
My power rank. Yellow.
Nice. So where once there was Xenofreeze, now with a angry sapling nomming on him, there is now a giant block of ice. We are at Mike.
Okay, so I would like to be clear as to exactly what's happening at this point because a lot has
Maybe back.
kind of been bouncing around.
Okay.
Can you so as Billy's looking around, the largest one is still down, correct?
Both of the large ones are down. One is
Right.
shrinking, and if Lightbringer can hold this round, will be gone. A little ways away,
Okay.
Sledgehammer had been kind of holding down, not kind of, it had been attacking and holding down another one of the large treachers that we're calling it. But he grabbed a hold of it around the midsection and gave it a German suplex into the radius where Lightbringer is at.
Okay. All
So
right.
he's attempting to do
And-
kind of what Hyperion is doing, but holding it in the radius so Lightbringer can kind of deal with it. But
Okay.
because you guys are just on the ground at this point, many of the smaller ones are coming out to try and defend, and that's where some of the other attacks have come in.
Okay. So there's basically still just a lot of little ones running around
At this
trying
point,
to cause havoc. Okay.
yeah.
Oh God, I'm tempted to do another AOE attack, but I'm just nervous about hurting my teammates or stunning them and causing. Yeah, I don't want to do that because if I accidentally stun the wrong person, then it's going to screw up the.
If someone could or collectively corral them into the perimeter of the UV, that could be helpful.
Fear is single target, isn't it? Or is it? Or is it
no,
multi?
Fear can be a radius effect. You can make. I believe so. Anyways, you can
I could
make. You
teleport
can make other
you
people,
to a certain position, and you can unleash your fear.
Okay, so let's plan to do that right now. I'm going to transform into Dravixium.
Oh, good lord. Okay.
Screw this no armor nonsense.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So go ahead and roll your psyche for your spell.
My psyche.
Yep.
Oh boy. Green, 64.
You are good. So you see Billy at this point make some Doctor Strange like hand gestures, says something, and all of a sudden, poof! Like his skin vanishes, and he is this shining metal version of himself.
Ooh.
Yay, armor!
He basically looks a lot like Colossus right now, but a much skinnier punk version of Colossus.
Yeah.
Let me look up fear for you real fast. No, that's
Cool.
not it. That's not it. Da-da-da-da. Oop.
I thought I had that one pulled out, but I don't. I need to go do that.
That's not it.
What did he change into?
Dravixium.
Dravixium.
Yes, it is an area effect. So,
Okay, cool.
So basically, you are just attempting to all targets in the area of effect. So it would be basically
Cool.
your psyche versus any of theirs.
Okay, perfect.
Dun dun dun. Okay, so you have armored up, and just as an FYI, Dravixium in this universe is my version of adamantium. So that's basically turned himself into Wolverine skeleton.
Wolverine plus.
Yes. So that was Mike. Britt. Roll
All right.
again. Hold. So need
Should
your
I-
endurance check.
Should I karma this? Or should
Yes,
we take
please.
chances?
What are you? What's your thing at again? Your
Remarkable 30.
remarkable. So if you made at least a 36 or higher, that's a green. Do we want to then spend 35 to ensure a green, gang?
Yeah.
We can do it. We're doing it.
Okay, so it looks like everybody's in agreement.
Do it.
Roll it, Brittany.
Roll that beautiful beam footage.
35.
Good thing.
Oh my gosh.
So 70.
35, 70, and that puts it in remarkable.
You said 36 is a green?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that
If
puts you
didn't
just
spin
in
that,
the yellow.
You would have just missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have by
That's
one.
so dumb.
All right, so you're clearly holding. You are not fatigued. All that working out again has definitely helped. Roll your power rank again.
Oh.
Because
Yikes.
Well,
Because
actually,
Lightbringer's been
before you
drinking
do,
milk.
are you attempting to amplify it more, like sap more
Sure.
light out, or are you attempting just to hold it?
I might as well.
Okay, go
If
ahead.
there's no downside.
Not to the people inside being deprived of light.
Okay. Green.
Okay. So you can see the corona coming off of her. It's licking at this point in purple. It's coming off at this point by about 1.5 feet. And the one treacher that was in there originally has now been reduced to a small sapling in size, and it looks like completely withered. The other one at this point is starting to rapidly decrease as Sledgehammer's attempting to hold that one in place. So that was Brittany. So we are at Shelly.
So we want to do that then, Mike?
Yes, absolutely.
So we're going to work in conjunction. So she is going to teleport herself and Billy to a strategic position to where he could use his sphere and corral them towards Lightbringer.
So you want to go on top of one of the buildings and basically like make yourself all massive and nasty looking. Okay, so
Yeah, that'd work.
so it doesn't have to be like a skyscraper height, but I mean just enough
Right.
that you're getting the attention of
One of the
multiples
lower
at once.
buildings.
Sure.
Right.
Yep. So you're going to teleport across the street and down almost a block. Then, so you can't quite see it, Shelly. So go ahead and roll.
Oh boy.
Although you did get a quick glance at the neighborhood when you first flew it.
So would I use my new power?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. This is just your teleportation.
Be nice. Green feet.
Okay. So you're a little hesitant, but you got there no problem. You appear on top of a small residential condominium complex. It's about 5 stories. Mike will be in position to try and do his fear next round. That was Shelly. Dale.
Okay, so I'm now holding onto a sapling, essentially. That's was diminished.
You were holding on to dry wood.
Okay, so yeah. All right, so since it's been dealt with, Hyperion drops it to the ground, and then he goes to assist with the other creature that's right there.
Okay.
So he's
That
gonna,
that Sledgehammer's attempting to hold to.
exactly.
Okay, sure. So go ahead. Actually, he's already held. So just make a strength feat.
Okay. Green feet.
Okay, so you grab a hold, basically like the other arm, and pin it down at this point, ensuring that it stays in place. So at this point, these little ones are attempting to come in. So Wraith drops down near the radius of where you guys are at, trying to keep the two in place, because it looks like several of the smaller ones are attempting to come in to try and free them up if they can. And so he's just trying to go kung fu on them and throw them around. So at one point, like, he jumps, grabs a hold of one essentially by what would be the head, and rolls backward to flip it, further back out, sweeps another one so it hits the ground. He's just trying to play bumper at this point and keep them from flooding in on Lightbringer. Lightbringer, you get 2 spears thrown at you, but you have the potential to get out of the way, so go ahead and roll.
That's amazing, right?
For you, yes.
$93. That's red.
Good Lord. Okay.
Do I need to
Wow.
roll twice?
No, you'd only roll the one time. Basically, you just gave them -6 column shifts to hit you.
Awesome.
So only one managed to hit you, and even then it wasn't all that spectacular. And you got hit for a whole 15 points of damage. So you would probably take a cut of 5.
Okay.
So you got a gash, but it didn't break your concentration. It didn't disrupt what it was that you were doing. Sledgehammer's still holding him in place. You can now hear some gunfire in the background as the hoplites are attempting to pacify some of the other ones and keep whoever they're defending, basically keep themselves in basically a line of formation to keep the other creatures away from civilians who are attempting to get out and first responders who are treating them. Top of the round, we are at Derek. You are on a block of ice, sir. So you effectively can't do anything unless you attempt to break out. Or you can grow yourself as ice.
Yeah. Yes. Get out.
Go ahead and make a strength check.
Green.
Okay, let me see. Oops, that's not what it's looking for. All right. One moment.
After I did the proverbial Blanca, but with ice.
Yeah.
Okay, so. Oh. And what did you roll specifically?
A 48.
48. Okay. So you're not able to break out of the ice, and the reason why you realize this is what allowed you to do that before was your limited phasing ability. So you were actually stuck in the ice. You could always grow it if you want, but unfortunately, you're stuck.
Well,
doesn't mean
I'm
somebody
still
can't
the
come
same
right.
I'm still the same condition that I was when I did that, because when I last did that, nothing's changed unless I'm slowly changing since then.
So what I can say as at this point, you are not able to break out.
Okay.
Where are we?
Then I'm gonna.
We're at Mike.
Yes.
So you were attempting to scare the entities.
Yeah. Maybe we'll plant the idea of fire in their tiny little tree minds or something.
Plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plant.
Why don't you? It is a. So looking this up. So go
He's
ahead.
gonna sow the seeds of flame.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There you go.
And,
I love you guys.
You're going ahead and making a roll on your psyche.
Good. That is a 65 green.
All right. So you again, he makes some hand gestures or something, and you put the fear of fire into whatever whatever minds might actually be there. And you end up seeing like 20 of them start backing up and running because they're not doing any damage really to the buildings outside of breaking some windows and whatnot, but they were more harassing people, and now
Right.
they all start running away back down the block from where you guys came.
Perfect. Hopefully towards Lightbringer.
You're going to have to corral to do that, so you'll have to make another attempt to do it, but they're definitely heading in that direction now from the street that you guys are at.
All right.
So do we need to teleport somewhere else?
I will let you decide that. So that was Mike's turn. Brittany.
I will hold
Roll your endurance.
Green.
All right, so you're holding. Are you attempting to amplify again, or are you just?
Sure.
Oh, go ahead and roll.
Good grief, she's gonna be a mile long.
White.
Okay. So at this point, you can. So you're still holding it, and you're, taking all that in. You now give yourself 10 points of damage,
Okay.
as you can actually feel the sizzle and the bubbling in your skin.
Um,
Ouch.
I have a -2 column shifts light damage. By the way,
For what?
is that just because of my illusion casting? That's just part of.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're not doing illusion casting at this point, but I know what you're talking
I
about.
okay, so that doesn't affect it.
No.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about because your illusions are in essence bending the light, so that's where that steps from. So if you were to do illusion casting, then yes, you would actually, well, I mean, you're absorbing it, so it's not
So
really going to work that way. But
light
if somebody was firing,
light versus UV is a little different.
correct. Well, you're absorbing is what I'm getting at.
You
It's
said
not-
10 points.
It's yes, you're absorbing it, so that's not quite the same thing. But if somebody fired like a laser blast at you,
Yes.
or if they projected just pure light like a sunbeam or something, you could use your image, or basically your illusion casting, whatever it is, and that would actually dissipate some of that potential damage. That's
Cool.
because you're refracting light.
Cool. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
so that was Brittany. That thing is shrinking. Next round, it will be done. You actually see the corona on her is coming off so far that anybody standing nearby her can feel heat. That was Brittany on 6. So we're at Shelly.
Billy, do you want me to put us somewhere else?
Yeah. As we're looking over where everything is running, is there a group of them that's kind of veering away from Lightbringer?
Right now, they're not running at Lightbringer. Right now, basically, because you guys were kind of at an intersection, you guys went to the one end and they're coming back this way. If you're going to try and corral them, you're probably going to teleport to a building at that street corner and
Okay.
basically divert them down the street directly at Lightbringer.
Perfect. Okay. So
'Cause
yeah, Billy just
otherwise they're going to keep going down the street. They're going to be heading directly to where some of the civilians are being protected by the hoplite units.
okay. We don't want that. Yeah. So Billy points over to a intersection spot where we want to teleport to, so I can.
Okay.
Okay, Sean, go ahead and roll.
Yellow.
Ooh, 84.
You are just fine.
Perfect.
From one city top to another, you are good to go. Dale,
Okay.
still holding?
Yeah, still holding. Yeah, he's just gonna.
Am I
focus
just
on-
stuck then?
Currently, you're stuck in the ice, yes.
You said what were my options? I had an option. You said.
You can still attempt to break yourself out, but it's very, very difficult. Or you can just make yourself bigger as a block of ice. Because it's not harming you.
Right.
With that said, that's a good point. So does it seem like Sledgehammer has a pretty good hold on this creature
At this
right now?
point, yeah.
So instead, he's gonna let go, and then head over and see if he can. So he's gonna try to pick up the block of ice. And are there any nearby entities he can throw him at?
Yeah, I mean, there's still some in hand-to-hand range. If you would like to use your brother as an iced club, you can.
Ah!
Yeah, so he's going to try to kill two birds with one stone, to break him out of the ice and hit an entity at the same time.
Okay.
He knows his brother can take a nice hit.
So
Kind of-
at that
kind of,
point,
yeah.
you're making a fighting check.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you have blunt objects as or blunt weapons, I should say, as a talent?
No,
Okay.
nothing like that. So just fighting.
I mean, is it considered a blunt object, or is it just a like big
Blunt-ish.
debris?
Yeah, it's still blunt.
That might-
It's still blunt.
Green
You're
feet.
like a
Green feet.
a
So you grab a
icicle.
hold of him real quick. Basically, he's kind of a column at this point. He's not, because of his power rank. He's not just like frozen xenofreeze. He's like an actual column of frozen xenofreeze. So you dig in your hands on either side and punch at your fingers past the ice, and you feel it crack a little bit. And you're just like spin around real quick and swing, and you connect with two of the entities. They're not big enough to shadow the ice, but you smack them straight into the circle o' death for them, where Lightbringer is absorbing everything.
Nice.
Very cool.
That is Dale. So they are back up. So Wraith at this point is still trying to fight off some of them from getting to Lightbringer. Now there's nobody to throw anything at her because he's dealing with the only two that are left. The other two got knocked into the burning ring of UV.
or lack thereof.
Yeah, or lack thereof. He ends up just flat out drop kicking one at this point towards that direction. He just takes a moment, kind of places his hand on one of them, standing drop kick. You have to kick him back into the radius. The other one strikes at him, but thankfully he's able to kind of block it with his arm as he's getting up. And top of the round again, we are back to Derek.
Well, can I move now?
You still have to try to break out if you're going to try and move.
Oh, okay. So
There are some cracks in it at this point, however, thanks to your brother.
Does that give him a column shift by weakening the ice?
It does not.
it just probably lessens the difficulty.
It lessens exactly.
Okay, cool. That works.
Oh man.
Still a white feet.
Okay.
Mhm.
In ice,
It was a
no one,
28.
in ice, no one can hear you scream. So,
Oh, it's so
all right.
bad.
So that was
The
the top.
scream,
What the heck?
Screams of frustration.
Exactly, just like Mike.
Yeah.
So you're casting your fear again on them, correct?
Yeah, I am casting fear on them.
Okay.
Make them think there's big firewalls all over the place.
It's just exclamation
Oops.
point.
Yeah, I screwed that up. Stop with the extra characters. Yellow. Woohoo.
Ooh, nice. So you
I
guys
am
from that
taking
position.
all of the bad rules. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Very generous.
Yeah,
Taking it for the team.
at this
Yeah.
at this point, Derek is taking bad roll aggro for the team.
Yeah.
Today
So
is my
Mike, at this
day.
point, you recast your spell, and that just like a herd of cattle, they freak out and they start going back down the other direction, thinking that if they go there, they're going to jump into a furnace. And so they're like a column of like Hyperion. As you're looking at this point, 20 of them are just running as fast as they can down. It's like it's like all of a sudden miniature Ents decided to storm the Capitol. It's like come running down the street. You with your ice club. I know exactly. Or as they would say in Cyberpunk 2077, better buckle up.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Brittany,
It's a Xeno
Okay.
club.
you just need to roll your endurance to hold it if you're still basically keeping this radius effect.
All right. I got a white.
Do you have any?
Oh, no.
rolls?
Reroll?
I do not have a reroll.
Can I give her my reroll?
Nope.
I can. No, I will give her one reroll right now.
Gonna
There
Would
it
you like some
goes.
karma?
I redeemed a hero reroll for Brittany.
Okay, so
Oh.
Brittany, you have a reroll.
Okay.
Do we
I don't
want
know.
to
I'm
give?
just gonna have to keep this up for like 15 rounds.
You want to use some karma?
Do you want me to?
where are we at? We're at 225 for karma. And your thing's at remarkable, right?
Right.
We could do that. Say maybe one
You do
more
25
time by
again.
spending. If we spend 35, that ensures a green result.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that if everyone is.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. Go for it.
Okay.
She did it.
Woo!
Thing.
got a
Once
white.
again, I got a 34. Oh,
That's
so
funny.
last time was 35.
69 puts it into the yellow.
Yay!
Woo! All right.
Should I try and beef it again?
At this point, you can if you like.
Should I?
It's pretty strong already. Like within 1 or 2 turns, that
Yeah, because
creature
you're
is gonna
taking
be gone.
damage.
I mean, it's not that much damage. I'm at 95 of 110.
If you think you can do it, go for it. We won't
Okay.
stop you.
I'll do it again. White.
Okay.
My luck has run out.
You take another 10 points of damage. The corona and heat coming off of her, and it's not a normal heat like you would imagine in an oven. This is a radiation heat.
Yeah.
So you can feel that rippling off of her at this point. That is Brittany's turn. We are at Shelly.
Brittany needs, or Lightbringer needs to come stand next to her brother.
Yes, I
Yeah, just
do.
cool off.
Where do you want to go now, Billy?
Just need to give me a hug.
Yeah. As we look over the area, Billy's just gonna, try and figure out where, if anywhere.
Great question. So if these keep going on their trajectory, they're going to go run right into the circle of UV that Lightbringer's got going on. So the folks down
Do
here
we want
could
to get on the?
So the folks down here could probably keep them corralled.
Okay.
Down the street, it looks like the hoplite units have the few that remain kind of under wraps, like either chewed up because of gunfire or they're in hand-to-hand beating them down with like nightsticks or whatever. The only thing left is the park. The park has not actually been addressed yet.
Okay.
And the park still looks kind of like something that jumped out of The Adventures of Korra.
All right. Well, let's head to the park then. Try to get on the other side of the park and get them marching towards Lightbringer.
Okay.
Okay, so you're just going to teleport down to the park or what?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
She's gonna go where he tells her to go.
Okay, you can see where it's at. You can see exactly where it's at, so you don't have to do anything. So you
I don't have
teleport.
to roll.
No. So
Okay.
you teleport down. Oh, thank you for the follow. So you teleport down. The park itself, like I said, looks like a lot of grass and weeds have like really amplified and grows. They come up. You're the smallest of the group, so they actually come up to your brow. You could actually hide in this from somebody if you really wanted to, but they kind of sway back and forth. And there's tendrils of vine coming out of the park. So it's very clear that this is the nexus for something, but as to what, who knows?
I wonder if both of us were to concentrate our electrical abilities right smack in the middle of that thing,
Yeah.
what would happen? I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Well, you could wind up in an intergalactic stomach again.
I'm
Been there, done that, got the
I'm
t-shirt.
currently made of Dravixium. I don't, see
So,
how long I can keep that going.
Dale, it is your turn. Are you just, what are you doing with your brother at this point?
So, as much as he's been a fantastic melee weapon, Fantastic contribution to the team. I'm going to see if I can actually just kind of smash him down on the ground to break the ice off of him.
So you mean you're not going to see how many licks it takes to get to the center of a xenopop?
No, I'm not going to do that.
He never made it without biting.
I know he's all.
Oh.
Oh, great! 1, 2, 3, crunch. 3.
As the news choppers are like, no, we're
Yeah,
leaving.
we're not.
His,
Yeah, we're not
his
covering
tongue
this.
got
This is
stuck on the
terrible.
ice.
So you're gonna break him free.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just take like a solid whack at this point. Go ahead and roll your strength, because you've got enough strength to break him out of the ice. No problem.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Green feet.
Okay, so yeah, you take a moment, and a big shard kind of breaks off of it, you know, in a giant chunk, base right around where you had your fingers kind of embedded in the thing, and Xenofreeze is kind of able to fall out backwards, you know, from the block, just like, and there's this like impression of the frozen Xenofreeze kind of doing this, you know, in the block. Okay, so that was Dale. So now at this point, Lightbringer, you see a horde of running little entities just running across the ground, running at your direction, and as soon as they are hitting your super amped up UV area, it's like a bug zapper. They're come running as it's and as they're coming in, they're like turning. There's a little bit of a spark to it because it's that massive, but they're almost immediately turning into dried out wood and just tumbling down to the ground. So it's like as they hit, it's like somebody dumped a bag of sticks.
Nice.
Oh wow.
There's a frozen
Cool.
one in a block of ice.
Well, that one's still frozen though.
A great sample to take back.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I was thinking.
There you go.
like
Good
it.
idea. So at this point, you're basically out of combat, with the exception of the park.
Yeah.
Mike, why don't you give me a reason check?
Oh, how
And-
reasonable am I?
You're not very reasonable, but that's not why I asked you to roll it.
Where the hell is my reason?
It's the third from the bottom. If you're looking at the regular sheet.
No, he doesn't have the same sheet. Reasoning
Oh.
is in the second column.
Oh,
on
there
your
it is. There it
abilities.
is. Yeah.
And you have a cultist, so you're hang on. You're up one
Oh.
column shift.
Okay.
So it's going to be an IN40.
Green.
Okay.
Gring, gring.
So here's the conundrum. This is acting very much like some sort of dimensional conduit of some form, mystically.
Okay.
Which means you're going to need something big to close it effectively. If you try to brute force it, you don't know what sort of backlash would happen.
All right, that's fair. Oh, dude. Guys.
You do have
We-
something that could possibly help.
Okay, I'm just relaying the information to everybody first. Guys, we got some kind of portal thing here. Are you thinking of tapping into the good old Oshtur?
The good old what?
Is that what you were
Oh, you're talking
going
about
out
a
there?
character?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do something to entreat Oshtur if you're gonna do something to solve this.
That's what I thought. Okie dokie. Billy sits down, starts really focusing and
She's just gonna
attempting.
look down like, what the heck?
Yeah,
Why are you resting?
give me a minute. What am I rolling for this, man?
It's my lunch break.
You're gonna roll your psyche.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna add 35 karma to this.
Okay, make sure you're marking that off from your character sheet.
Yeah, I am. I am. Oop. Yeah, it helps to click back on that window. Thank God I did. So that would be a 65. That would be a green.
Okay, so you start to focus on the item, that you have, and for all of you, this is all instantaneous. But for Mike for Billy on the other hand, so you focus, and your spirit sort of leaves your body at this point,
Yep.
and you are observing the scene as it stands, only a fraction of it. So we're talking very multiverse of madness, Doctor Strange sort of thing. Like the rest of it around you looks like some sort of massive cosmic display of stars and gases and planetary alignments. But this one particular piece where you're at is the only thing that's sitting before you.
Right.
And a gold figure is sort of standing before you at this point, which you would know to be the avatar of Oster.
Sure.
It is humanoid in shape, but completely formless otherwise. So no like eyes or hair or anything of that nature.
Right.
And
It's like me naked,
yeah, there you go.
but
Um,
gold.
Overshare.
But it looks to you and speaks almost as if it was male and female at the same time, like mirroring voices that say the same thing, but almost as if they're multiple people.
Right.
And it says, it replies to you. It says, "Why do you call upon me, my son?"
We are legion.
Yeah. And I gesture towards this portal, and I simply tell it, Ashtur, we have portals, we've got trees coming to life, and I need to know how to close this. We need to shut it down.
So it looks and it says, it looks upon the scene before it, and it says, "You are not dealing with just a dimension, with a dimensional. You're not dealing with just a dimensional problem. You will still need to resolve the matter upon your mortal plane. But Oster grants you the ability to resolve the issue at hand."
Fantastic.
And so it reaches out briefly, taps your forehead, and you instantaneously know how to reverse the spell.
Okay.
So
Fantastic.
at this point, go ahead and roll your psyche.
I'm using a reroll. I have one reroll left, which is
I used the last of that karma too.
now gone.
You know
That's
what?
probably not a bad idea. Let's go ahead and use another 35.
Okay.
That puts me at
Oh.
210.
Brittany just redeemed some points, so you have another reroll, Mike, if you need it.
Okay.
Sweet.
Who else does not have a reroll? Anyone?
Woohoo! That is
Brittany needs a
101.
reroll.
Red
Oh,
results.
So in a
I mean, I
moment,
might not need one anymore.
so in a moment, as you guys are starting to circle back around, and Shone kind of looking down at Billy for some reason, who decided to sit down and focus, for no reason. In a moment, and literally, it's like by the time you guys have a chance to come walking around to see what's going on, he stands up and he speaks in sort of more of an ethereal voice this time when he's casting. And you see, at this point, you almost start to see the plant life and everything from the park that this emanated from start to roll back up as if somebody hit rewind. Like everything is starting to roll back up. The grass is going back down. The trees that might have been in the area shrink back down to relative normal size. And with the exception of the damage, everything there caused, like park benches and, fencing and whatnot around the area.
Non-organic stuff.
Yeah. Everything else to this park is as it should have been.
Okay.
Wow, what did you just do?
am I conscious of everything
Oh,
around me
yeah,
again?
you
Okay,
you
okay,
you
good.
you
All
were
right.
the whole time. It's just you were
Okay.
granted a fraction of Oster's power, and it resolved it basically counterspelled what was happening.
Right. So I look over and I say, well, um, I I called on Ashtur. It's something I can do in emergencies, and that was not something that you and I were going to brute force our way through. So Ashtur let me know exactly how to deal with it, and it looks like it worked. So,
And this usher is a deity?
but yeah, deity, is it deity or is it demi? No, it's deity.
Yeah, it's more of
Correct.
a it's more of a entity would be a better way to put
Entity.
it. Yeah.
Okay, fair.
I mean,
Yeah,
she
fair.
and hold on. Alexa, stop. Um,
Yeah, I get that you would understand that.
yeah, she would
Yeah.
kind of understand it,
It's
but just like
Sean's cousin.
yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's your cousin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh
no.
yeah, Uncle
Yeah.
Ashur. That's
Twice,
right.
Yeah,
twice
no.
removed.
Yeah,
Remember,
Oh, yeah.
remember,
nothing like that. No.
He still owes me for the coffee.
yeah, from
I
the last
want
family
my
reunion.
$2.
Now,
You were
um,
supposed to bring the potato salad last time, jerk.
so Ashur let Billy know how, like, specifically what it was, that it was bigger than just this one thing.
Yes.
Does he have a good idea of how to explain that to everybody?
Not until you find what it is. You just know that there's something more to it.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
So is this going to continue to happen?
And yeah, there's clearly something else deeper going on, and we have to figure out what that is, because this portal is not the end of this. Like, the portal shut down, everything should be cool here, but it's going to pop up again if we don't figure out what the source of this is.
So we should probably return to the vein and
We
see
definitely should.
if those results are in.
Yeah. And fill everybody in on what just went down here. So
And bring our treesicle.
So
bring
as
the trees.
soon as everyone is there, she will teleport everyone back up to the ship.
Oh, so
Um,
that was quick. Okay.
So before Sean
So-
does that, Hyperion will say, one moment, Sean. We need to make sure that the area is clear.
so am I still supernova?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't
Is-
want to teleport you. Well, I can't reach you anyways.
Don't do that. That would be no bueno. Okay, so can I can I tell that everything's stopped?
Yeah. If you
Okay.
if you don't discharge, you're gonna start hurting yourself.
That was going to be my next thing. Is I need to discharge this. So what do I roll for that?
Nothing really, just your endurance to make sure you're able to do so safely.
Okay.
And should we put on shades?
Yes. And I got a white feet.
All
Oh!
right. Ouch. So she
Let's
goes.
see what happens.
So she goes.
It's a
to,
good thing
she
I
goes
don't
to
have eyes.
release, and dispel it up into the air. Unfortunately, it comes off as an explosion and damages all of downtown.
What really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So it comes up and like energy flies out from all the corners. All the buildings around her suffer some damage of some kind.
Oh gosh. Am
How much karma did we lose?
And Lightbringer falls to the Lightbringer ends up falling to the ground. From holding on to all that energy for so long. Sledgehammer comes running over real quick as she does that and scoops her up. And he's like, "LB, are you okay? What's going on?"
Am I conscious?
Yeah, you're weak, but you're conscious.
I'm just gonna say.
Can I quote you on that?
And I quote, yeah. How
Am
do you
I all
spell
like
that?
covered in blisters?
Yeah, I mean you're a little cooked. Yeah, it's like
Billy just says,
like the cave,
I-
like the cave from Monty Python's The Holy Grail.
Oh God.
Ah.
Yes.
Did he
Yeah,
die
So-
while writing it? No, he actually wrote out, ah.
So, question: Was Billy and I far enough away that we didn't take damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody was far enough away that you guys didn't take any damage.
But Billy looks at you and says, "Well, I don't feel so bad about my sound AOE now."
At least she doesn't stink.
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
Wow. We're not going to let that go, are we?
No,
Damn.
Moving on.
no, because you
definitely
did.
don't have right guard in your dimension.
So Hyperion's going to ignore that sibling rivalry there, and then run over to see about Lightbringer. And after she does that, he'll see if he can like pop the medical scanner off of her, and then use it on her to see how she's doing.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your
Oh yeah,
roll your reason.
did I lose any health points from that explosion?
No.
Oh, okay.
Green feet.
Green feet. Okay, so scanning her, you still detect high levels of passive radiation, which are dying down. And she has some burning from it, so she has some superficial damage to her skin, but otherwise she seems to be okay.
All right. So then Hyperion's like, she suffered superficial UV burns across her body, but the radiation levels are dropping. Can you still hear us, Lightbringer? Are you all right?
Yeah. Is it
All right.
over?
Yeah, it's over. You guys did it.
I think I need some cold water.
Xenofreeze, could you approach, please? Perhaps your ice, if you can tone it down to a minimal degree, can help to cool her off.
He
Thank
rolls
you
a
for the
red
follow,
result.
Mike.
Yeah. I'll very gingerly, just enough to kind of snow, if you will, kind of thing. Just enough to cold generate enough to where it's freezing the moisture in the air, and it's just kind of.
Okay, so that's going to take a little bit, but so he starts making it snow in a very small centralized location. You'll have water
her.
available probably in about 20 minutes.
You said to chill her down, so I was just chilling her body down. You said you wanted something
chilling her
to
down.
drink?
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to make her water, it's going to take a while. Chilling her down, yeah, that's not really an issue.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood then, out of character.
No,
then.
I misunderstood.
So
I thought you guys were still going for water.
Oh, then yeah. If I'm just cooling her down, then that's what I would do. If I'm going for water, then
Hyperion will go ahead and clarify, like, perhaps water would be best. If you can at least produce the ice, we can melt it.
yeah.
Is there
Of
something
course.
for him to put it in?
I just
My
opened your
hand
mouth.
right now. So
Yeah, so you
Kinda
guys,
generate a little bit
are,
and hold it.
I'm not going to make you role play the conundrum of finding, a container for a block of ice. That's probably one of the most unheroic things you could do. It's like, oh my god, I need a cup for one big block of ice.
So you can just eat ice chips.
Yeah.
Just kind of.
I mean,
Um,
is that
I'm
sanitary?
like an automatic ice machine. It's like. Did you remember that cartoon with the Iceman where they're like sitting on a beach and he's like Jean Grey is like holding her cup out like this and he's like drink.
So you managed to. So again, at this point, downtown things are starting to get under wraps. Mike, go ahead and roll your intuition. One column shift up for your talent of occultist.
Okay. That would be. Sorry, one sec. Yellow.
Okay. So while this is all going on, and you can see that basically Hoplite, they are a heightened version of police that have some degree of additional protection and power armor to kind of deal with superhuman threats to an extent.
Sure.
They are starting to get the area on lockdown, closing it off so people don't come in. While you guys are waiting and sorting through the Lightbringer stuff because of the explosion, you have taken a moment to kind of examine the park at this point before you guys immediately evac out, and you find the remains of a thorn in the park. And there's nothing here that should have a thorn. There's no like thorny bushes or anything of that
Oh,
I'll
nature.
make you
How
thorny,
big?
baby.
About the size of your fist.
That is
Oh.
no small thorn. Okay. Gonna grab that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, anything besides just the size of it and the fact that there are no like ginormous rose bushes around here. Anything else odd about it?
No, that's about it.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I'll bring that with us for sure.
Okay. So you pick that up and kind of pocket that.
Yeah.
Sledgehammer, looks to Hyperion at this point and he says, I don't want to intrude, but you guys have got this, right? For Lightbringer, she's going to be okay.
Absolutely. She's in good hands.
All right. So he sets her up enough so that she's actually sitting and not like laying down on the nasty ground. And he says, all right, so call me when you can. Well, you can't do that. Meet up at the meeting spot then when you're feeling better.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh. And
And
Hyperion goes, thank you, Sledgehammer, for your assistance.
no
always.
problem. Thanks for coming down. There's no way we could have pulled this off, ourselves. And you see, Wraith come jumping down, connecting down to the ground. And he says, as always, Legacy, it's been a thing. Thank you for stopping the thorny side of injustice.
Thank you as well, Wraith. Your skills have been exemplary today.
So he just kind of does one of these numbers sort of thing. And he's like, he says, I don't know about you, Sledge. He says, but I'm famished. We up for a salad? And he's like, oh, dude.
Do you like cake?
And he's like, of course we like cake. What? Why?
Just wondering.
Okay. So at that point, they go, fly, they go, running away, and you can overhear Wraith going, "No, I'm serious. Like a super salad. It's right around the corner." He's like, "Dude, we just got done fighting plants. Come on, man."
Yeah.
He's like, I could just kill a salad.
Revenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's all, a little bit of ranch. Vengeance is mine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat me some Caesar salad. Et tu, Bertet?
Okay, well, when I can get up, I'll just
Yeah, it takes you a few moments, but you're able to get back up.
And Hyperion obviously helps you up too.
So the big question
going
here is,
home?
are you going to stay for the press or are you going to flee?
I think we need to stay to explain to the press what's happened here and to help quell any fears. In the meantime, it seemed, Moshpit, that you were able to stop what was happening. Could you tell what was going on?
Okay, there was a portal, and I did manage to close that, but there is something deeper than this portal. That's not the end of it, and
I didn't
my guess is that
see
there's
portal.
potential that more could open up.
Where
And
was
I
the
wish
portal?
I in the park. Oh, and he pulls out the thorn and hands it to Hyperion and says, "We'll probably want to analyze that and figure out where the hell that came from, because it's I don't recall seeing any 50-foot tall rose bushes. So
And this was near the portal you managed to close.
correct. I assume, correct, Jerome?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in the park proper.
Right, but was it like where the portal was specifically, or
It's hard to say if it was where the portal was exactly, because you didn't really see a portal. You just saw like gigantic amounts of growth.
oh, that's fair. Okay, yeah, okay.
But as you guys are kind of talking and kind of hashing this particular piece out, you see two news crews come running out after you guys past the police cordon.
As that's happening, Hyperion's going to hand the thorn to Xenofreeze and say, keep this along with the frozen entity so that we can actually analyze them when we return.
We need to figure out a way to detect these portals so that we could take care of them before it gets to this point.
We'll be able to determine more of that after we return. And looking around, are there any? So that building, it still looks stable. That was
For the time being, yeah.
okay. Are the doors on the front still frozen?
Yep.
Okay, so then Hyperion's going to turn to Xenofreeze and say, if you could de-ice the doors, we should actually evacuate that building just in case the rest of the ice thaws.
Remember, he can generate the ice. He can't control the ice like that. Of course, he could
Oh.
cold shape it into ice arches.
Yeah, because I have like cold shaping, so I could be like, it's all there now. So now I'm just turning it into my own Elsa ice castle.
Sure, there you go. So he's taking some moment to get out some frustration and work out his creativity on an ice arch or pathway for the front door to clear it. So, and at this point, the crowd comes running up to you guys. Hyperion, are you there, or are you dealing with something else? It sounded like for a moment you were walking off.
No, he's going to stay there because he wants to make sure to interact with the crowd and the news crew here, being the leader.
Okay, yeah. So at this point, most of the questions are starting to be bounced to Lightbringer right now,
Okay.
and they're like, Lightbringer, you know, and both the microphones, you know, get thrown like right up in your face, and they're like, and it's like, so is it true? You're a part of this team, and you're a part of Girl Power as well.
Girl powered?
What?
And it's like, your new trio with Bone and Plasma.
Oh, that was incidental. This is my team.
Okay, so and they, you know, him and Hob, you know, between one another, you know, bouncing some of that off. And it's like, can you tell us what happened here? What was it with these the trees and plant life coming to life?
She's going to point to Hyperion.
And they're like, oh, okay, well, a question for you in a second, Mr. Hyperion. It's like, and so is there, you know, is it true that New Prussia is about to go to war with Russia?
Jeez.
Joan's going to turn around and walk off to go see if she can help somebody
Okay.
instead of watching all this.
And what brand of makeup are you using right now? Is this Chanel number 5?
I don't
Really?
speak for New Prussia.
No, of course not. But your grandfather is the president. Do you have
He
any
doesn't-
insights?
I'm sorry, I can't comment on that.
And so, I mean, at that point, there's like, oh, you know, they try a couple more times to get some sort of answer out of you, but you shut it down. And it's like, Hyperion. So what's the deal with these creatures? It looked like your team came prepared. How do you explain that?
Well, if you're aware, my teammate Lightbringer managed to actually fight these before recently. It seems to be a similar phenomenon, perhaps magical in nature. We'll be taking samples of what we've defeated to determine the true nature of these beings to stop them from reoccurring in Strongford or elsewhere. But that could take time. We're working on it as diligently as we can.
And so one of the other ones like, are you going to speak to Alpine Technologies?
We'll be speaking to anyone we can. Any of the advanced technology firms in the area, Alpine Technologies, Quantum Unlimited, anyone who can assist.
And at that point, there's like, is there any truth that there is a grudge match between you and Monarch Brewing?
Not to my knowledge.
Where do they get this
To be
stuff?
true, we have no grudge with the Justice Legion. It seemed as though they have that against us because of what we've done in the past. It's understandable how it would seem that being allied with someone such as Jurgen Ulbricht, even for a moment, could be seen as poor handling of diplomacy. But in that situation, it was a matter of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. We happened to have goals that were in tandem in order to defeat that enemy in Argentina. Since then, we're not allied specifically, especially when dealing with threats such as these.
And then then another one ends up firing a question to, and he says, so we understand that you came here with a bunch of undocumented, illegal dimensional aliens. How do you speak to that? Is this something that you're working on rehoming the homeless from other places? Are they working on American citizenship? Can you comment?
We were within that other entity, a quantum reality entity, where the interdimensional refugees you mentioned were trapped for some time. Once we managed to build an interdimensional portal and escape, we did actually communicate with the Aegis Foundation. They are working on helping to naturalize and rehome the refugees. We will be in contact with them periodically to make sure that they're okay. All of them have lost their Earths and now plan on making this Earth their home.
And then the other one comments at that point. He says, on the topic of illegal aliens, what do you make of the aliens currently orbiting our Earth? Surely you have something to say about that.
It is, of course, a momentous turning point for humanity. Nothing like this has ever happened, at least in recorded history, anything that we've known. But it's imperative that everyone remain calm and united. Clearly, humanity is not the only sapient life form in the universe. There may be others that are either hostile or friendly. We need to keep open minds and tread carefully.
And so at that point, it's like, do you have any other additional comment that you would like to make? Your fans would like to know.
For the people of Strongford, we are here to protect you and defend you. We want to make sure that you live lives in peace and prosperity. I assure you, we will be working on this current threat of the strange plant-like entities. They will be dealt with soon. However, if you do find any more strange phenomenon happening near you, any plants or animal life that are suddenly moving in ways that you don't understand, leave the area immediately and contact your local authorities. Keep yourself safe. We will protect you.
And at that point, the light goes off on their cameras. They're just like, thank you very much. And one goes off, the other one, the other one kind of gives you like one of those sorts of, like affirmative fist. It's like, you did a good job.
And he goes ahead and gives him the thumbs up there.
And they go walking off. You guys go into the ship to fly away, and that is where we're going to end for the evening.
That was fun.
So good game, guys.
Yep.
Our next
Yeah.
game coming up is going to be Cyberpunk on the 20th, which will be at 7 p.m. So be sure to tune in then. And then Street Fighter again on the 21st, also at 7 p.m. And then we'll be taking flight once more with Ashland by Night Blood Ties on the 23rd. That's going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So hang out with us, check us out. We enjoy having you guys with us and cracking jokes and plain sound waves in the chat. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, and catch us again on our videos on demand on YouTube if you've missed anything. Thank you again, and good night.
Later.